The what? And they're like, no, it's not like for normal people built on the website.
Hi, how you doing? No, we got yeah, my wife Andrea.
Are you
guys new?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I am too, I'm just curious.
Yeah, we are. Well, that's the thing. Looks like. Yeah.
And I'm just not sure it's gonna reap any benefit. Like it's like, no, it's-
So that's what I think just. It's over from making the restaurant.
You want this?
Yes, we sounds awful. We just take that.
Yeah, my,
That's a strong. I can have to do that. Yes.
I should have put that in the documents.
Oh, I forgot this. This is a good song, but it kind of makes me tired. It's not bumping music to wake us up on a day after a holiday. Yeah,
I agree.
I couldn't sleep all last night.
Christopher Cross. Great. Video.
Just go put this.
Hey, good morning.
How is everybody this morning? Ready? We have a nice weekend?
Good.
Yeah, so tell me something good. Tell me something good that happened this weekend. Anything.
Oh, Mission Impossible.
Oh, did you go?
The movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was really long.
which one is that?
It's like the final record, 8.
Eight? It's kind of like Rocky, but doesn't Rocky have like 15, 20 or something?
I don't know, but Tom Cruise was great. I don't usually do that, but my son was like, let's, kind of stuff, but
That last Top Gun was good.
Yeah.
that was even better.
Yeah, usually sequels, you just never know what you're gonna get, you know,
2 was great.
so anyway, yeah.
It was exciting.
Good. Anything else? Anybody go to the beach, go to the pool, cook out, eat too much? Yeah.
Eat way too much.
Eat way-
Lots of hot dogs.
Oh, we have more today, so welcome and happy Tuesday, it's the last Tuesday in May, can you guys believe it, we are 40% of the way into our year already. Can you believe there were 40%? It was like, it was just Christmas, well, that seems a long time ago, but it seems like it was just Easter, it was everything else. So, for those of you that are doing the DTD2, that's do the database too, it's where we tag your database with the last names. This week, we're calling everybody with the last names that start with N and R. What this does is it pairs up everybody in your database, so you have 13 pairings to call, and there's 13 weeks in a quarter, so it ensures that you call everybody in your database 4 times a year. That's part of the Millionaire Database follow-up plan that you'll be learning today at 1:30 with Mr. Brad.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just 4 touches out of the 36, 48, 72 touches that you need to do to create that mind share. And then next week, SMU. So one of the many models. So if we could stand, say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And before you sit, say hi to somebody you don't know. We have several guests in the room today. So
Charlie?
Ma'am,
Lisa.
nice to meet you.
that we have 3 guests joining us today. So we have Charlie, we have Levi and Andrea, correct? So welcome, thanks for joining us today. All right, so we will, okay, so what just happened?
Thank you breaking it.
I'm breaking it, going too fast.
It's the computer.
I was laying it on the computer. Of loading,
What's the computer? Okay.
all right. There. Okay, okay, can somebody read this quote? While we are trying
Customer
to,
service shouldn't just be a department. It
There you go.
should Be the entire company.
okay, what does that mean to you guys?
It's all about the customer.
It is all about the customer, we're gonna talk about that, and
Doesn't
How-
matter what your role is in the company.
absolutely, everything we do is all about customer service, right? And what is the best way to gauge how you're doing in your customer service? What is one of the best ways? There's a lot of ways.
People-
Turn them into clients.
Well, there you go.
Testimonial,
Testimonials, absolutely, repeat business, referral business, right, reviews, like we said, okay. Excellent, and we're gonna talk more about that today, we're gonna talk about a model to help you guys put that in practice, because I have a story to tell you when we get to that. Hold off for the story. All right, bucket fills, so this is the time when we share, we wanna give kudos, recognition, thanks to agents or anyone in our brokerage that we wanna recognize and acknowledge for anything.
I
Yes,
gotta say that Marty Miller.
Marty Miller?
Marty Miller, 60, incredible.
Yep.
yeah,
Incredible.
done that, the 60.
I'm doing it in half the time.
Yeah.
You're
Working on.
But if you do it,
So I shared a couple of his, is that where you got it from when I shared it, or were you doing it before?
I just started it.
Yeah, I sent an email.
I did, yeah, I sent an email.
I'll send you an email.
can you do that again?
Yep.
Yeah, send another mass email to
That
everybody.
would be.
So
Wonderful.
Marty Miller, back when Command came out in 2020, he started a 66-day challenge. And the reason he did a 66-day challenge is historically, on average, it takes 66 days to create a habit, right? So what he did is he did the 66-day challenge for Command to learn Command. We're on his 66-day 9.0 challenge, so it's beefed up over time. You don't need to go back to the first one, just start at 9.0. And he's incredible.
I think I went back to, because I wasn't finding what I wanted, and it was how to customize your contact. So it is the 9.0, but I think that continues with all the updates that come out. So some of the other ones may have something that you need that 9.0 does not have.
Gotcha.
So it
Okay.
it really starts you from the beginning to say, how do you enter a contact, how do you this? The 9 I found were some more of the updates of what they have brought to that system.
Yeah, because we've evolved over time and will continue to evolve. So he's gonna continue to evolve and all of that as
Yeah.
well. So thank
But I
you.
did go back. Because there were a couple of things that I wanted to do and learn, whether or not it was a smart plan, so it just progresses as it goes.
Yeah.
Then you get the meat of it if you go back.
Fill in the gaps. Yep. Thanks, Loretta.
You're welcome.
And you can go to YouTube to Marty Miller 6.0 and he'll have all the challenges in there and all of that. This isn't really a bucket fill, but just an acknowledgement for those of you that don't know Baco. Say hello, Baco. He's one of your KW coastal living to family members, and he lives in Maryland full-time. He's down here part-time, yet he's working here full-time. He is one of our commercial agents. So if you have a commercial need, see Beto, he can help you up there or down here. He has a team up there. And he's building his team down here with some incredible talent. So very excited about that. Good morning. Come on in. Everybody straggles in. You're never late. You're never late in real estate. Except for the closing table game chat. Anyone else? Bucket fills. Hey. All right. Well, we all just love your audience.
I'm grateful for all the men and women who served for this past holidays. I'm very grateful for all of them. If anybody you know who's in the military, grateful for them as well.
Amen. All right, thanks, Brad. Okay, so this is our mission statement. To build, Keller Williams is a company where we come to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, Lives Worth Living, Experiences Worth Giving, and Legacies Worth Leaving. So the building careers worth having is that's where we start with you. We help you build that foundation to build your business upon, right? So we help you implement models and systems so you can create a sustainable, duplicatable business. A business worth owning is, business by definition is more than one person. And you can start anywhere you are by just hiring Gulf Coast Closings to leverage the transactions, the input and demand, things like that, to grow your business. And then the Lives Worth Living, the purpose of business is to fund the truly perfect life. So that's what the first two parts are for, so we can enjoy the last three parts and create that life by design. The experiences worth giving, they're experiences that we share with the community, your clients, and then we give to you as well. And legacies worth leaving, what impact do you want to have on your family, the community, the world when you should pass? And I don't mean to be morbid, but paying taxes and that are the two things that we can't escape. Well, you can escape taxes, but they'll catch you, so don't do it. All right, so just a little bit about our vision. And we want to say happy birthday to two of our agents. I spoke to Aaron today. He's off celebrating his birthday today, and Carlene. So happy birthday to both of them today.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday. So we have our top performers. So as you guys know, well, some of you don't, that we always celebrate what happened last month because we close our books down at the end of every month. We go through an end of month process. So we're celebrating those that had achievements last month and recognizing them. So we will start with our individuals. So in closed units, we had Sylvia. Congratulations, Sylvia. Tracy Edwards, who is on Zoom. Congratulations, Tracy, with 3. And Zarman with 2, and I don't think she's on Zoom. She wasn't able to be here today. But Sylvia, we're gonna get to GCI next, but let's talk about the units. Where does your clients come from?
That's a very good question that has been asked of me this past week, also by a lot of realtors. So just to let you know, I'm a dual agent. I have my license in New Jersey as well. And in 2022, I got my license here. 6 months it took me to get my first deal, just to let you all know. I worked my ass off in January of 2023.
Tushy is what she meant.
Yeah, my tushy, my butt, my big butt. And in January of 23, I got my first deal, okay? And that multiplied through those clients. But as Mark King at Rosen College, because Rebecca took me about 2 or 3 years ago to meet Mark King in Orlando.
He was our former CEO, so you guys.
Yeah.
All of Keller Williams.
All of Keller Williams, and he was on the stage and he had this big chart up on the board. And it said they interviewed all the agents, the Keller Williams agents, top performers in the country, and found out, number 1, it's your family, your friends, and your circles of influence. Number 2 is open houses. And I argue with people all the time. They're like, well, I didn't get anybody. I'm like, you gotta do as many open houses as possible. So I'm just telling you, I have a listing coming up tomorrow. It's gonna be in Palm Air. My first open is Sunday. And next week I'm having a big brokers open with a raffle for a bottle of booze. And I would love to see all of you come to celebrate if I don't sell the house this Sunday.
And you don't have to drink booze to go to the broker.
Yeah, you can have, I'll have iced tea and lemonade as well.
But IDs will be checked at the door.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But it is open houses and
Open
it's
houses.
circles.
So raise your hand. Did anybody have any open houses this weekend? Any successes?
No, Wayne did.
Yeah, kind of.
Wayne.
At 11 people on Saturday picked up 4 new clients, so 2 of them signed 2 PBA, signed and then showed 1 2 homes, 1 3 homes. Sunday I had 2 open houses picked up. Had 6 visitors between them, picked up 3 more clients. Yesterday I had 1 and only picked up 1 person.
Awesome.
That's great job.
That's
Yeah, great job. And you know what I want to share is that Wayne is a student of the market, and Wayne is also a systems guy. So he doesn't just wake up and say, I'm gonna do an open house. He prepares in advance. Isn't it like Mondays that you identify the house?
End of day Tuesday, I have everything locked up, ready to go.
Okay, and then he has systems that go through in that. And we will be having an open house playbook, open house systems class in a couple weeks. So I hear a lot of people say, well, I'm not gonna do open houses, nobody came last weekend. It's hit or miss, but I will tell you that homes up to about 500,000 are getting hit. I mean, there's a lot of traffic, and then homes over 1 million. The ones in between are gonna be the hit or miss more that activity. I'm not saying don't do open houses for 500 to 1 million. I'm just saying that we just see a little more traffic up to 500,000 and then over 1 million right now. And that changes, as the market fluctuates, price range fluctuate and all that. So just in time, Lindsay. So GCI, Sylvia again, congratulations on over 93,000 last month. Tracy 26 and Zara 24. And if I can be so bold just to say, as part of being on Keller Williams, you guys know we are a capping company. You only contribute, so much to the company, and then you have months and months and months at 100%. Sylvia is at 100%. This is how much she brought home to her family last month.
Wow, good.
You think about that, it's more than some people make in a year, right? This is having a business worth owning, right? So she can have that life worth living, and she's buying an investment property, and a lot of things are coming out of all of her hard work and the networking. And it's the sphere of influence, everything he's gonna be teaching this afternoon in the Millionaire Follow-Up Program, okay? So congratulations.
I am taking care of my family, however, just a little let you know. Rents have to be paid.
That's what it's all about, though. That's what it's all about. So for teams, the agent group, 7 units last month. Congratulations, Lindsay. The Burgess group had 2 and the Germinals had 1, and they weren't all able to be here. But Lindsay, where did your 7 deals come from?
Mostly referrals. And then I would say after that, agent to agent referrals. So past client sphere referrals over here, and then agent referrals over here.
So where did you meet these agents that gave you referrals?
I've never met any of them.
Fantastic. Next, what did it do?
Suggest you to build out your profile on KW Command, like really build it out. And anytime you do get a referral, to make sure that they put it through KW Command, because I hear there's an algorithm. I don't know how true that is or not. But I've just constantly used my command for networking, adding people, looking at where areas where people are coming from.
Perfect. Well, and I'm glad you said that too, because in the referral app in Command, there's a network map. And you can look and see where the referrals are coming from, mainly a lot of the referrals coming from what cities into the Sarasota area, and also where they're going outgoing. You can set up a whole system to make connections with KW agents in the countries, in the cities that are sending a lot of referrals here.
So something happened to me that was amazing, so it's a little bit of a nugget for everybody. So I was selling a home, and all of a sudden my client said to me, I have to sell my home in Georgia. I'm like, oh, Georgia, and where in Georgia? So she gives me the city. I went home on the map. I targeted that city. I got the top agents in that city, and I start making phone calls, and I hit 3 of them. And the first 2 didn't answer, the third answered right away. And we set up an appointment in Georgia with the client's daughter. The house went on the market and we're closing in 2 weeks, and it's a referral. So not only did I do a sale, I got a referral out of it. So always inquire with your clients, oh, do you have anything else to sell in any state or whatever? Just a little nugget.
Yeah, absolutely. And if they're selling here and moving out of state, you have an agent that's helping you on the other end too. So we can help you navigate that. So thank you, Sylvia, for sharing. And then post GCI, again, agent group, Burgess group and Germinal agent with over 81,000. Congrats. And they all are at 100%. So just again, to think about what's possible, right? And we're here to help you do the same. We're here to help you do the same. So congratulations, guys. Okay, so here is the market update for Sarasota and Manatee County. So, the first thing that I notice on here is all the red down. Down.
Where's the smile?
I know.
Sunshine.
I know.
It's okay.
So new listings are down 20%. Something I wanna share is pendings are down 8, solds down 35%, and new listings are down 20%. And this is just in the past week. So, could it be for Memorial Day? I don't know. I mean, historically, this is kind of the time people put their homes on the market because they want to sell before school begins again. But even though our price reductions, our price decreases are down only by 9%, which typically they were a little bit higher, it's still over 10% of our total market, our total inventory. Wayne?
That's out of condos. Single family homes for the same three counties were flat last week. New was in 497 versus the week before 496.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, because this is single family condo and villa and townhouse. And Wayne tracks just single families. Do you track different categories or just single?
Single family.
Okay.
I don't touch condos right now.
Shh, somebody's got to. Condos have some stuff going on with the impact fees and all of that stuff, but people are still buying and selling condos, yet this is your business, you focus on what is important and what makes sense for you and your business.
I think Mike has a condo for sale.
Mike has a condo for sale right on Longboat Key. Yes.
Yeah, you got this.
I just read an article that was saying that the home builders are going up in percentages with their condos and their townhomes and everything else, and there was a good report on them last month.
You mean commission percentages or?
Just the sales, the volume of sales through the country, I'm saying country-wise.
Countrywide, yeah. Yeah, and speaking of which, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but you'll hear a lot probably about that on Thursday with the state of the economy update. So what story are you guys seeing here? I mean, for me, all I know is that when I moved to Florida the first time and went back into agent business for a couple of years, this is what I targeted on. That's a couple days call list for me, right? Expireds raising their hand saying, expireds withdraw and cancel. Hi, I want to sell my house. I have a need for some reason and I'm willing to pay somebody a commission. They just didn't get the job done. Something happened, right? For sale by owners, same thing, but we don't have stats on that, but they are low hanging fruit also saying I need to sell my house. The thing is now, you think that all these new listings and this inventory and these price decreases and all that, they're getting lost in the market because we're so over saturated. Imagine what for sale by owners are. They're not even being looked at because there's so much inventory to look at right now, right? So great opportunities is what I'm sharing. Anybody have any thoughts? Okay. All right, so did you guys hear the news? Keller Williams is the only brokerage that has partnered with Canva. So by the end of this year, the full brokerage relationship will be rolled out. It's gonna be embedded into Command. There's gonna be a lot of different things that we're gonna be able to do with, because designs in Command is all right. 90% of our agencies Canva. So with our relationships, we were able to solidify this. It was just rolled out and announced about a week or two ago. So it's very exciting news, putting Keller Williams on the cutting edge. Who uses Canva? Now you guys can just go right into Command by the end of the year and use Canva. So we're very excited about that. Starting Monday, there are several of us agents, well, okay, I'm licensed, but I'm not an agent, leaders that will be meeting our agents here at 8:45 in the morning to do role play. So I'll be here on Monday. We're gonna have Loretta and Julian and Paula and Sylvia, each doing a day to come in here and let's just say, what's the word? Get your tongue loose, right? Because the hardest thing to do is pick up that phone and like, okay, what am I gonna say? Who am I gonna call? So if you're focused on it, let's, role play about it. I was sharing with our leaders last week, or the week before, that when my business exploded, when I was back in focused agent sales, and this was years ago, 2010. I was in the office every morning between 8 and 8:30. I would role play. There was at least a half a dozen of us that were in there and role play. And then we get on the phones, we divide, get on the phones, do our lead gen. And then when somebody would get an appointment, we put our name on the board, we ring a bell. I'd be in my office, I'd hear somebody ring that bell, I'm like, somebody just got an appointment, I'm getting an appointment. So it's fun competition, right? Friendly competition, it kind of gamifies it. Plus, then if I had somebody say something to me and I was stuck, like I was stuck on that objection, I didn't know how to handle it. I have somebody I can go chat with. My business exploded that year. I started the year in the top 20%. I ended the year in the top 5 of all agents in my brokerage. So, and I attribute it all to this. I had a schedule. I was there connecting and learning the language of real estate with other top agents. And it made a massive impact on my business. So now when I script and role play with people, I don't have to read anything because it's all been so embedded and internalized that it's just natural language for me. And that's what I hope for all of you. So please start coming in and joining Mike and Jude every morning for a role play. Yeah.
Shop liver.
Yes, and Lisa, yes. And John, exactly. And now we'll say many, many mornings.
Oh, good.
So I'm excited about this. We just talked about this today at 1:30.
Yeah, 1:30, not
At
too.
1:30 today, the Millionaire Agent Follow-Up Plan. So this is how to get that repeat and the referral from your database. And because your business is your database, so learn how to put the systems and communicate in a systematic way.
And make sure you are logged into Command. I don't want to spend the first 10 minutes helping you get logged in. So make sure you're able to log into Command so we can rock and roll.
Rock and roll. And he has a systematic way of building this up with you. So if you're beyond where he starts, just hold on. Let everybody catch up. Okay. Money Monday.
Yeah, so Money Monday, obviously this Monday we had a holiday, so we weren't here. But we've gone through designs in Canva, speaking of Canva, branding your business with AI. Last week was very nice. The 6 basic human needs was pretty cool. And then this time we're gonna see how AI can help you attract more leads wherever you're at. So definitely come in. Next week, I think it's on Zoom here. I'll be in Inglewood. So it'll be Zoom for everybody here, and then the following, I'll be back here.
Yay. All right. Money Mondays.
Yeah, so group tech onboarding. I gotta change the name, but if you guys want to learn just more about the technology we have, like Command, DocuSign, definitely swing by. Every Monday from 3 to 3:45. It's usually on Zoom. If you're here, I'll have it Zoom in here, but usually I like to have it on Zoom. And then if need be, 5:30 to 6:15. I play sports, hockey, softball after work. So if you need to come for one of those, RSVP, let me know so I can make sure to cancel that stuff and be here for you guys. I don't mind doing that. I just need to know. So I'll make sure to do that.
Thanks, Brad.
You're welcome.
All right, one pager Wednesday. So most Wednesdays, not all Wednesdays, because we have some other things going on. I do a one pager Wednesday. It's just 30 minutes. There's a model that I share that helps you find business, get business, increase business. So you walk away with the model in your hand. We talk about it a little bit, and it's typically I have it just before another class, which tomorrow is our last success series. So it's week number 8. We are graduating tomorrow. So this has been a productivity mastermind. So I'm really excited to see what the final numbers are from this. I know there's been a lot of listing appointments and buyer brokerage agreements signed and things like that. So it's been fun to ramp up and watch people increase and grow their business. And starting next week, we are starting a success series for AI. Who here uses AI? Who here could teach a class on AI? All right, so you should be here. So we're gonna teach you how to lead gen, prospect, put systems in place, use AI in Canva, use AI in Command and all that. AI is not going to replace agents, but agents that aren't using AI could be replaced. Does that make sense?
That's a good way.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is what it is. People still want to have a realtor to help them through everything, but they also, it's an attraction, it's a promotion, it's ease. I've used AI even just to respond to emails, and gosh, I sound smart.
Yeah.
But I use it for a lot of different things. Beto?
Crystal, my associate that takes care of part of my team in Frederick, she does all our marketing as far as descriptions of that property through AI, and then she makes music videos through AI and drops them down as far as for marketing. It's pretty cool. We really love using the AI part.
Yeah, it is great, yeah.
Hi, coming from the enterprise tech space in Silicon Valley, being in marketing for 25 years, I have been curious, just more recently, we had a whole legal team that used to sit with us and say what you could use AI for and what could actually go out to market, because it had come from original content, so it had to be from us, the writers or the marketing professionals. It'd be interesting to know too, from Keller Williams' perspective, do they have guidance on that in terms of what you can put out to market? Do you have to re-swizzle the content, compliance? I mean, there's so many things. Obviously, AI has made it's been kind of a little bit of a dance with AI lately, because I look at it and go, wow, it was a really good article. But I recognize that legally, when I used to work at VMware, we couldn't just send that out. We had to take the copy, look at it for ideas, and it had to be written from us. So I was curious if that's the same there.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to be compliant in marketing, compliant in what you're saying, you know, there's still everything that has anything to do with fair housing and respite and all of that, that all still applies. You always have to share who you're affiliated with, what brokerage you're affiliated with and all of that. But if there's ever a question,
Yeah.
so for all of you, if there's ever a question of what you can or cannot put out into the ecosphere, you can send it to our broker and he'll let you know. So MREA is very, very responsive and he's amazing. So if you ever have questions, but we'll be tackling all of that. So that's gonna be every Wednesday at 1 p.m. And that starts next Wednesday. So we'll do the one pager Wednesday at 12:30 and mop right into the AI success
One
area.
more thing on AI. When you're creating captions for your post on social media, definitely do it on AI, but switch it up, like change the verbiage. I'm going through this course with Holly, who's doing her marketing. And pretty much with the algorithm, it can tell if it's created with AI, and it's not gonna push your stuff as far as it would go as if you guys created it yourself. So do AI, but then switch up the language. Don't use a bunch of the emojis that ChatGPT will give you guys. Switch that up. Don't use a lot of them. And there's a lot of forbidden emojis I didn't know about. So look into that. Make sure you're not using those as well.
And go in and like misspell a word.
I don't know about that.
No, don't do that. Thanks, Brad.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So if you know somebody who's interested in real estate and you're looking to grow the passive income, grow your passive income, refer them to our career webinar or our career night that we have once a month, where they can learn how to get into real estate school via our scholarship, to have that opportunity. So it's a 64-hour course that they'll go through. They have
63.
63-hour course, put the extra hour in. To go through the course, you have 6 months to complete it. It should not take you 6 months. It should take you 2 or 3 if you're just doing it on the weekends. And then once you're done, you take the exam, and then they join KW. They name you as their sponsor, and once they get some deals going through profit share, you'll start seeing that income come into play. And raise your hand. Who likes making money and not doing anything? Exactly. The only thing you did was give me or Rebecca a name, and we'll take care of the rest.
What he said.
Yeah, what he
Absolutely. Okay, so this Thursday, via Zoom is the monthly market update. So this is where Brian, he's our franchise owner, our OP, where he takes you on a macro level all the way down to the micro level and talks about everything in the economy, what's affecting the housing market. You get the recording, and he'll also send you all the slides. So those are really fantastic to use in listing presentations, buyer consultations, and the knowledge you get is really good because your role is to be the local economist of choice. And you don't have to do the homework because he's doing it for you, which that's leverage right there. This Friday at 1 o'clock, 1 to 3 is Career Visioning Demystified. So Career Visioning is a course to teach you how to find and hire the right talent, train, lead, and motivate them, and then succeed through them. So if you're looking for leverage or build a team, even if you're never looking to build a team, this is a great class to be in. It's gonna uncover the why behind leverage and the why behind all of it. So if you're looking for impact, if you're looking for focus, this is a really good, insightful class to be in. Heather, who is Brian's wife, she's also an executive maps coach. She actually wrote this class. So I'm excited because it's the first time I'm gonna take it. It would be good for you to have taken a KPA, a Keller Personality Assessment, before the class. If you have not taken it, please see me and I will email that to you so you can take it before that. It's not a prerequisite, but it would be good because if you haven't taken a KPA, we want you to take one anyways because we want to uncover all that. So hope to see you guys here on Friday.
And if you do take the KPA, make sure you set about 40 minutes aside. And then in a nice quiet area, don't get distracted, don't go crazy drinking wine or beer, just focus on that.
Yeah, highest energy level, least amount of distractions, do it on a laptop or a desktop. I had somebody doing it on their phone while they were walking through Walmart. I'll tell you, it did not verify.
Yeah.
They're like, this isn't me. I'm like, well, focus, so.
It's funny that they were doing
Yeah.
that. It's like crazy.
Okay, so next Friday, it's our Real Talk series. So I do a Real Talk with top talent the first Friday of every month where I'm interviewing top talent across the nation. So Charlotte Savoy is she in your market center? No, they don't, okay. She is up in Maryland though, and she is an OP, she's a coach, she's a rainmaker of a team. She has a great history of success and she has a great story. So it's 1 hour long, it's via Zoom, there's time for Q&A after. And the thing, and you do need to register, so there's a QR code there to register. It's always great to hear about top talent, how wonderful they are and all their successes and what we could all achieve and how they started out. And I think what's most impactful is when we hear about what are their struggles, what are their challenges, what are they dealing like? Let's get real here and have those conversations too. And those are the things that I want you to help me uncover in the Q&A portion. But when I have my pre-interview conversation with her, that's what I want to dive into. Like, let's just get real. Tell me, like, how many times this year so far have you wanted to quit? You know, like what happened? How do you overcome? How do you get your mindset right? And you know, where are you struggling? So I'm excited to have Charlotte on here next Friday.
Can you move that over a little bit? You can't scan that code.
Yeah, the code's a little, just come find me. It's on your calendar too, and it's in Team Up.
All right, and then Friday the 13th, a very lucky day because we'll be here with the Quantum Leap watch party. So Quantum Leap is Gary Keller actually wrote this course. It's about having a bigger abundant life. It has nothing to do with real estate. And it's actually going to be live in Austin, Texas. Gary Keller is leading it a day. It's for 18 to 30-year-olds.
18 to 35, I think now.
That's what it's focused on. It's teaching them how to create an abundant life, become entrepreneurs and that. It's the same course for adults. So we have paid, we meaning Brian, has paid for us to have a watch party here. So please RSVP, let us know if you'll be here. You come, doesn't matter if you're not 18 to 30 because it's the exact same course as, like I said, for adults over 30. Bring your friends, bring your spouse, bring your children, adult children, let your clients know. Anybody's welcome to come. We're just gonna need a head count because we're definitely gonna have lunch brought in for you. And possibly like appetizers or something later because it does go till 6 and we don't want you guys to starve. But it's fantastic. I know Loretta will be here. Loretta, do you have anything to say about the QL?
I watched it before with Gary. Every time, I'm gonna watch it again, but it was so interesting how his concepts and what he thinks and how he thinks and your accountability and if you choose to be a victim or be accountable for your actions. So it really goes to not only your business, but also to your personal life. It's really good.
Yeah. Thank you. Yep, it'll be great. So who thinks that they'll be here? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You guys will all be better off for it. Miss Abby, come on up, Abby, from those closings.
Well, it just looks so pretty on this presentation. I mean, like, come on here, I need a glamorous shot.
Well, that's good. I had to make it up. I was impressed with that picture. I had pictures. I know.
Well, anyway, but I mean, everybody's pictures were just great so far.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, online, I always forget about this. So, these are the services we're adding and we're constantly adding more. So probably next month, hoping to add another 2. Not teasing about those yet until I have them in. I have my official thumbs up, but if you guys ever need any help, you have new listings, new contracts coming in, reach out to me, I'll help you. Love to touch base, take the paperwork, make your life simple. I believe Brian did the math and it's like I can give back 20 hours of your time. Each deal is like 50 hours, so send me that 20. I'll take care of your paperwork for you. Oh, MLS, I now have MLS logins, so I don't have to bug you for your codes every time I log into it. So I'm on the back end. There are little kinks to that, works we're still figuring out. Actually, Lindsay's been great. We got showing time set up this week, so, but yeah, reach out. Yes, ma'am.
So where would it fall under if I have a listing? And I wanna get the artwork and everything situated with
All that.
on social media and Facebook and.
So we're
Would
not
you
doing
update
that
that? No?
social media yet.
Okay.
That's one, we're still in the talks about how do we incorporate that and get that process done.
Okay.
I mean, I can help show you how to do it, but
Yeah, exactly. But that would fall under maybe paperwork prep or.
we're not even there yet. I haven't talked, that's something that we're still having in the works. We're trying to figure out how we can incorporate that.
Okay.
So she does like the listing paperwork and puts it like man in the MLS. Yeah,
Got
you
it.
sign it.
Oh, I can use help with that too.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, come find me. Actually, I touched base with you last week. I have your phone number, so
Yeah, okay, great.
I'll grab you this week. But yeah, thank you, Ms. Annalee.
Thank you.
And with that question though, I do wanna let you know, so, as you guys know, this year we rebranded to KW Coastal Living. New signs, rebranded, reimagined, and all of that, and phase 1 is our signage and our business cards and our name and, gosh, what else, we're listing presentations should be ready to roll out to you guys soon. Buyer consultations should be ready to roll out to you soon. So we're putting all of the assets together for you, your email signatures, all that stuff. Phase 2 is going to be the marketing company that's working only for us. We're the only real estate company they work for. Will be available for a monthly fee to you guys if you want them to do your social media posting and all that and get everything prepared for you, so you don't have to do that. And we'll be rolling out more of the phases as that goes on and what they're gonna be available to help you leverage.
When is that coming about for the social media stuff with this marketing company?
I will find out this afternoon.
Like
We have a
in the next
meeting.
couple months?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
yes, yep, absolutely.
Great, no, that's good.
Yeah, it could potentially even be next one. I would say probably more closer to July.
July.
Yeah. Regional event, so we do have a regional event. Phil Jones, Exactly What to Say, is doing a 2-day certification class for his Exactly What to Say. If you have not gotten his book yet, it is phenomenal. So he has Exactly What to Say, and then Exactly What to Say for real estate agents. And the one thing that he says is know what you're gonna say before you have to say it, before you get ready to say it. So this class is gonna get you certified to teach his course, to have all the workings, and then you'll have access to a lot of his other materials and that, and this will be in Orlando, bless you. And typically it's $1,500, I'm sorry, $3,500 to take this 2-day course with him up in New York, and he's doing it in Orlando for, what is it, $899?
It's $8.99.
$899. Okay, Bolt's coming in August, so it's $7.99. The average agent earns about 11 transactions. You get reimbursed for 2 of them, so that even if you just get one deal on that costs you $400, that's a massive return on your investment. So I highly encourage you guys to get prepared for Bold come August.
What's both?
Business Objective Life by Design. So it's a coaching, conditioning, mindset and accountability course that focuses on production. It was completely rewritten. This class has been, this course was rolled out, I think in 2009. I've taken it every single year, just about since 2009, a couple times, some years. I've taken it 19 times. I've never taken this one. So this is Onward Bold. Gary Keller took it, threw most of it out and rewrote it all. And from what I'm hearing out on the streets, meaning social media, they are loving it because it brings in a lot of video, a lot of marketing, a lot of social media, a lot of texting and things like that. So it's not the old call, make a bunch of dials all day, but it's meeting people where they are and earning business that way. Don't call who you're not supposed to, otherwise you go to real estate jail or a lot of money. Okay, Who has a Google business profile? Hold off on that.
I started one,
Okay, so
but I
the
don't
two
know.
agents. So, let me get that
What's
out.
happening?
But it's remote.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you
mine
guys a story, and this is why I'm sharing this with you guys today. So many of you, not all of you, know that I used to be the team leader up in Illinois, just outside of Chicago for quite a few years. And even before that, I was a agent at that Keller Williams up there. So I have a lot of great relationships, and a lot of those agents reach out to me when they have business in Florida, actually, yet more specifically locally. And a few weeks ago, one of my former agents up there reached out and it said, Rebecca, who do you know, one of your agents that lives in Venice, because my mom's gonna be selling her house and I need some help with somebody selling it. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm like, do they need to live in Venice? He's like, yeah, I want somebody local, local to where she lives to list her home. I'm like, okay. So I went on, I knew of a couple of our agents that live there. I just went on and I checked, and then I gave him some names. And he's like, okay, great, thank you. Not even 30 minutes later, he reached out. He's like, who else do you know? And I'm like, I gave you some great people. What's going on? He's like, they don't have Google business profile set up. They have 0 reviews. They don't have any reviews. I can't reach out to them. I'm like, okay. Other than a referral from me, they have to live in Venice and they have to have Google reviews. What else? He goes, no, that's it. He goes, I trust you. And but it made me start thinking, because when I moved down here this past time, we went to Key West for a week. We came up, and just before New Year's or whatnot, we were looking for an Italian restaurant. Well, I didn't know anybody here, so I Googled and I was looking at reviews, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go here. So we went to Speaks. They get great reviews because they're really, really good. And that's how I look for whatever I'm looking for. And I look at reviews, even if I'm on Amazon, I'll look at reviews and I'll look at that. So I implore you guys, if you do not have your profile set up, there's step by step on exactly how to do it. I actually set one up for me. I'm gonna, over time, I'm gonna send you guys my link to give me a review. And if it's not 5-star, don't give me a review. And insane. And when you guys are set up, send it to me, let me give you a review. Because when people are searching in the area and what you put, actually, if I could ask Lindsay, if you could give me a quick little share, like when I looked yours up the other day with you, it came all up. So how did I see agent group with YouTube, with LinkedIn, with Facebook, with all of it in there? Like,
And my Google business profile, or because you saw my name everywhere?
I saw your name everywhere when I Googled you.
Okay, so, I mean, there's a lot behind that, but I have built out a Google business profile from the very beginning and I utilize it daily. I have a lot of reviews. I work really hard to get reviews, and I also post daily on it. So I'm constantly active in the Google algorithm. When I had an active YouTube channel, which I don't right now, the two are very much interconnected because YouTube is Google, Google is YouTube. So when you are searching someone, your YouTube videos will pop up, your Google profile will pop up. And Google is an algorithm, so keywords pick you up. So if your name is on your Google business profile and it's on your YouTube, it's gonna now pick up your Facebook. It's not gonna pick up your Instagram. It's not gonna pick up. So you're gonna look like you're all over the place. I mean, and you should be. You should have a realtor.com profile, a Zillow profile. You should have profiles everywhere so that if someone is looking you up, you come up in the Google search.
Thank you. And yes, and I know I've talked to agents who have some Zillow reviews, they have some realtor.com reviews, but your average John Q public is gonna go to Google, right? So you can have those other ones in the reviews, but if you're only sending them to one place for reviews, I would send them to Google.
I highly suggest to send them to one place. Like maybe I have a couple Zillow reviews, this is from once upon a time where I was sending people, like I'm giving them an option. I do know that there are some people who I work with that don't have Google or Gmail, and so they say that they can't leave me a review. That's when I would say, can you go leave me a Zillow review at that point? Because obviously I want a review from them, but I just want to try to keep them all in the same place if possible.
Yep.
That's something at the end of her deals, I send out requests to the clients.
Oh, okay, so you have a system.
Yeah, so this is fun. I
But
said,
she's on top of it.
so like, just not at a closing, I bring it up during the closing, I bring it up during, at the beginning, during our consultations. Whenever I do something good and they praise me, I'm like, good, then I expect to see that in my 5-star review, like I'm constantly saying 5-star Google review. Or a referral, and so at the closing, I bring it up, I tell them I'm gonna send them a link in a couple of days, give them a couple of days to get moved in. And then I send a link, she sends an email. If I don't hear from them, when I do my follow-up call with them, like in a week to see how moving went, I bring it up again. Sometimes it feels weird bringing it up again, like, hey. Remember that promise you made me at the closing table?
Well, on average, the average human needs to hear something 7 to 8 times before they actually hear it the first time. So it's important for you to continue bringing it up, right? I mean, some people are just gonna go, oh, you know what, let me do it now, so I don't forget. But bringing it up. Why do you think you guys get texts, emails, social media from us, reminders, calls? Because you never even saw half of our emails that said the exact same thing for weeks, right? So we're reminding you, Google Calendar, yeah.
It's also interesting how I've heard the word system a couple times, and also the fact that the 3 people that you referred the gentleman to, the 3 realtors, I'm sure they had very good testimonials. But the system was that they weren't in an online Google review, or some other sites like Zillow or Realtor.com. But a very interesting thing is some people, obviously, this is why I feel like, 2 different things that are happening. It's so much, we've relied so much on the tech side of things, at least from where I've come from, right? That the personal side of things. So what I was trying to say is these folks might have already had testimonials, right? They might have had a written testimonial. They might have had somebody say, wow, thank you
Like
so
you shut
much.
them out.
Right,
Yeah.
a handwritten note. I mean, I've seen these things, right? And I'm like, those still count.
Mhm.
They're just not in this format. So an interesting thing is to sometimes just bridge that gap and say, yes, we may not have a Google review, but whatever that person's site is, you could always upload testimonials and
Absolutely, we can do
referrals.
that in command.
Yeah, things that
Absolutely.
give quotes that just from somebody saying, wow, I love working with you, you're fantastic, thanks so much for your time, great, could I reference that on my site? Wonderful, you know what I mean? Those
Yeah.
are opportunities for reviews as
Right,
well.
well, and I sold real estate in the Stone Ages, so I have a whole book with paper reviews, right? And so no one's gonna see that, but when I bring it on a buyer or seller consultation, so it's not anywhere. I could photocopy and upload it into command.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I did my first video review last month. And it's on my Facebook, and the best time to get these is actually through the final walkthrough. Because I do go to all the closings with gifts and everything like that, but there's so much to do on that day with moving and everything like that, and sometimes they're overwhelmed. And then like 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, like, hey, can you still give me a review? And then they forget the excitement of that day, so if you wanna check my Facebook, it's up there, it's Marquis, and I got her, and she said, okay, I said, can I, video you and in front of the house? And she thanked me so much, and she was so excited, and I put it out.
Did you upload it to your Google?
No, not yet.
Upload it, yep, upload it. So thanks for that. So I gave you guys all a model. And this model was created by Nick Waldner. Nick was our first Real Talk with Top Talent guest. And he has done he has an amazing business, built this massive business. If you want to learn more about him and his is it, oh, okay.
Yeah, just
Like,
pick up.
okay, excuse me.
Yeah, sorry.
If you want to learn more about him and his business and how he got to where he is, then on our YouTube page is the recording of that interview. Yeah, it's just being purposeful and having a system around everything you do. So step 1 is making a conscious choice to deliver the 5-star experience. So, kind of like Lindsay continues to bring it up. So, I'm gonna give you 5-star service in exchange for a 5-star review, when we conclude our transaction together. And so you're knowing what you're up against. And I'm not gonna read all of this to you because I gave it to you so you can take it back and you can implement it once you have your Google Business profile set up. But step 2, make reviews easy with a URL redirect. So you can go in to what is it, tiny URL. And you can request, or then, I think it's a small fee for some of those sites. You can get a small URL for your Google Business profile page for them to leave reviews. And then you just have that, and the best way to do it for people is text it to them, because they're right on their phones and they can go right there and send it to you. Or put the review in there. And then measure your success. So I don't know about you guys, yet, we're a big company of setting goals and then tracking metrics and where we are and measuring our successes or our gaps. And so once you implement this system, how many Google reviews do you want to get in a week? How many do you want to get in a month? How many do you want to get in a year? And what is the conversation that you're going to have around them? And what are you going to do to track and measure that? And then what are you going to do when you have a gap, how to fill that gap? And this doesn't just have to be, and this is step 4, it doesn't have to just be your clients that you have a closing with. This can be your title partners, your mortgage partners, your inspectors, the landscapers, all the vendors that you use. It can be your Uber driver, it can be me, it can be your associates here, it can be a server that waited on you, and you can ask them for a review if you were a really good customer, and you had a really good. So anybody can give you a review. Who do you need to be to get the 5-star reviews everywhere that you go? And who do you need to become in order to be the person that always has top of mind awareness on, I need to get reviews, because every positive review that I get is building my relationships, building my business, and building my mind share across the internet. Does that make sense? What are your guys' thoughts on that? Did that help you out today? Yes.
I built my practice on Google, and I got to be top tier. I had maybe 2 bad reviews in
What'd you do?
10 years as a chiropractor.
Oh, I think
He was a chiropractor in Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
this is a question I have.
I will warn you on that too. Yeah, go ahead.
Basically, it's more for, they're looking for someone in the area. Unlike real estate, I had a lot of reviews because I put a sign up in my office that says, do a review and you get a discount. Okay, well, it worked.
Yeah, I've just.
I found my small guy because I looked on reviews. I said, how's this guy have 150? And everybody's got 2 or 3. I gotta check him out. I drove up, as soon as I pulled in, he had a sign, do a review and you get $10 off your smog. I said, genius.
Your small?
Your smog test.
Oh.
We do smog
Oh,
tests in
yeah,
Las
yeah.
Vegas, something that should be here, but they don't. Yeah. Every year you have to get your car smog. So I said, genius, I'm gonna do the same thing. And then I just watched my reviews go up on, and that was my main way of business, was Google. But here I am brand new. I don't have anybody to review the services I've done for them.
Yeah, but you interact with people on a regular basis. So that's what I'm saying about, you don't have, this doesn't just have to be a past client, current client. It can be relationships, right? Reviews on a relation, like Nick. He'll have a fantastic ride with his Uber driver and he's gonna ask for a review, right? When I did my pre-interview with him, oh gosh, I still need to give him a review. When I did my pre-interview with him, ew, golly, he asked me to give him a review. And I did it, and now I'm going to, as soon as I'm done here. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be that, it's just, did you have a great conversation? Did you help somebody? Did you solve a problem? Do you guys find value with each other?
You're talking about people's character.
100%.
Even if you work with someone or.
Absolutely. And when somebody is happy, they're gonna tell somebody else. When they're unhappy, they're gonna tell a lot of somebody else's.
Yeah.
But that's why reviews are so important, because, when you're looking for a home and you're looking for what chiropractor and all that, you wanna know what the average public is saying about this person.
Google also likes videos. If you post a lot of videos, it bumps you up.
Yep, and that's what I was telling. Lindsay, did you have something else you wanted to share?
Yes, I was gonna caution on getting Google reviews. Once upon a time, I did get a 1-star Google review. If you go look me up now, I have nothing but 5 stars. I had recommended a vendor to a client who had already given me a 5-star review, mind you. And they had a bad experience with that vendor. And the wife came back on my Google and posted a really nasty review on my page, and it specifically was talking about the vendor and not my service. And I tried to dispute it with Google, and they did not approve my dispute. It took the husband months. It took, I think, like 8 or 9 months before one day I finally got a notification from Google that it was removed out of nowhere. So I guess he really cared a lot to continue this argument with his wife. But I ended up getting that review taken down by the original owner who posted it. So just caution you that when you are asking for Google reviews and you are providing other services or making recommendations, to either make sure you really do back the person that you are making a referral or recommendation to, or let them know very clearly they are not affiliated with me in any way. I cannot speak to, I can give you some other people who've used them and that's it. Because it could come back in.
Yeah, I mean, I think a vendor list shows your value, right? If you have a robust vendor list that you can, share with your buyers and your sellers, whether they need a hairdresser, a chiropractor, a landscaper, a painter, whatever. And a disclaimer that, because I told everybody on my vendor list that this is not baseball. You don't get 3 strikes, 1 strike and you're out, because this is my client's livelihood. So I get a bad review from you because 99% of them I didn't personally use, but they were recommended to me. And then my clients gave me good reviews on them. So they stayed on my vendor list until I didn't get a good review from them. So noted. Do you have something final to say?
No, you can, I mean, I only had 2 and it had to do with the staff, didn't even have to do with me. And I just rebutted them.
But they're a reflection of you.
It is, but when, you're gonna get someone like that, and I responded in a very positive way, and that's what was suggested, just respond in a
Yeah.
positive way.
People see that.
And they see that like he didn't just ignore it, he gave a response why this may have happened, kind of a defense, but not yelling at the person and saying, well, this is exactly what happened, we apologize if you're blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, take ownership for it to do.
Yeah.
And most people, because I've read reviews before, and sometimes you can be like, okay, this person's a little bit ridiculous with their 1-star review,
Always 99 or 5-star and you get to
Yeah,
one.
kind of
Like take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. So you can kind of see through that, but it's good to know. It's absolutely good to know. So did you guys get anything out of that today? Is everybody gonna have Google business profiles set up here soon? Beautiful. So it's time for a picnic, and we're not going outside. We don't have a picnic table and there's no grill. But we do have hot dogs and funny little stories. Friday night, Sheree and I were just chatting. And I don't even know how it came up, but fried bologna came up. Has anybody had a fried bologna sandwich?
Yeah.
Okay, I never have. So we talked about it, I'm like, you know what, we're having hot dogs and chips and all this stuff today, I'm like, I'm bringing bologna, so we're gonna have fried bologna sandwiches too, for anybody that wants fried bologna sandwiches, so. We're gonna take.
I brought it.
I'm enjoying, so thanks for having us.
To meet with Brad. Yeah, he just invited me to come in just to that, Yeah. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you as well.
Yeah, this one might be the start. Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, so I didn't know. Okay.
I'm done Friday, thank you.
Yeah, of course. We're gonna let you know. What do you need?
That form that I was trying to look for.
Yeah?
The modification.
Do you like that?
No.
It's okay. They.
Oh, he does that.
Right, you're the nicest. So,
Okay, what?
so this form, I sent it out.
Okay, well, what's the message?
It says that I need to put the brokers in.
Yeah.
So I need to do it.
Just need to edit it. Click on it. What's it say? Click on message.
Wait for how.
Signature of, okay, the signature. Okay, that's right. Click on, let me see what it says.
Right.
So I did everything.
Go back up.
Here.
Hey, how's it going?
You need to actually put Keller Williams code name in too.
They do have those organizational statements.
That's the brokerage, yeah. And then keep it.
No, listen, why do I? That's an issue.
Just draw a line through it. When you go back to DocuSign, draw a line through it. And yeah, because that's where it was. So go to transaction. That's not the sign. That's a.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so basically.
That's what it is, it's been a modification.
Yeah,
So then we're gonna make a copy.
You need the, you need that brokerage account.
Let's see if it'll let us edit it, because this is the actual signed one. I just don't want to erase the signature.
Okay, and then you have a few documents you're gonna send me, the conditional approval letter, which I said if the minimum satisfied. Check this.
Who has to sign?
But after that.
Does anybody have to sign? Well, they have an initial next to it.
Everybody signed that.
Oh, then you just have to edit it.
Yeah.
So
Alright, let's try to get some stuff in.
why don't we print it out and just draw a line through it, right? Just get it. Yeah, just do it that way. That's easier. Yeah, that is. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, print it on.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I gotta go print a few things out. I would do it that way, especially since it's you and your wife. I would just do it that way, print it out and then initial it that way. Or draw the line and add the information. For you. That's here. They go back to some building. Yeah. Yes, commercial. You too. I'm ready to do some business with you.
So. Maryland, Virginia, PA. Okay.
Okay.
And he's licensed in all three states with that too.
Perfect. So you can, their PA and.
Maryland, Virginia.
I'll say nothing in New Jersey.
No.
Right.
That's Thursday, that's a little bit far for us.
Hey.
And we're not some other stuff there.
Wow. Awesome.
So, let's put a bunch of here in Maryland, Florida.
That was awesome. Now, in the commercial, you don't need a commercial license.
We take the call.
Florida, you don't.
I don't know. I think so. I'm going to get the license. I'm going to be done, you know.
Right, well, let me know.
That's what we kind of residential side. That's what I will have, what happened to, I'll be talking to the environment for residential side.
I was on a big team in New Jersey. The family, so that's what I'm doing. So Tom Brady, she was like the founder of Bridgewood, New Jersey, and we have 500 agents. Yeah, it's big. At one point, we were like second or third in the country in Austin, Texas, which was really amazing. But I was on her team and and I was with Southern Street and a half, but left them. Keller Williams is much better. And then when I came down here, as I said, I've only really been selling since 23. Yeah. You have to connect, you have to be out there, you know? So. Thank you so much. Hey, Mike, can I send you, perfect.
Email.
What's that?
I'll be here for 2 weeks.
Can I just send you?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Exchange.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. It's Michael M as Matthew, 5 F. Y, V and Victor,
Well, when.
I E,
It's, my son. So we just bought a ton of water system. But we have a couple properties already that we're renting out anymore, so I'm looking at passive income. You know, something that's good investment, something that's gonna be good rentals, like that.
Do you have more than we have? Flip side. Or flip side.
I don't like flipping, and that's not my thing,
Well,
you
see, I
know?
have a huge construction background. So I come in, I'm the project manager, I can so boom, 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 in that many days. I go always. No, you don't, okay.
Do you have a good vendor list?
As far as here, not yet, but like I said, I do have my team up in Baltimore, I just up in Baltimore.
Okay.
So I have a team in Baltimore already, that's in that, and the biggest things, they go 90 days.
Very good.
So what we do is, we get our money on. And if we 20% down, have my cost of it, and then I take care of the resident. And the subsidy, and that they don't pay by time the project's done. And they have more time to go. So I'm gonna pay off the loan shouldn't be more than 180 days on that.
But that's what I'm saying, so how do you finance it right now, because there are people that are. Because when they have been up in this, and when they talk about it.
See that, they're not doing that.
Right.
They're too tired, you're.
Or if you do the remarks, but soon it starts to go.
Yeah, I think that is the reason. Always, you do your number, and be okay, what's the market gonna do in the next 4 to 6 months?
Yes.
So what's the market doing for the next 4 to 6 months? What then?
Hi, how
How
much
much
I mean,
it-
maybe a mortgage statement, last week. I wasn't able to access the platform,
So if you think.
hopefully you just email that to me, you're on the way. If you want to call back 518-878-6868.
Anywhere between 30 to probably 40% below market now, because it has to drop it. Okay,
I saw it going under market value.
and another thing consideration, what's gonna be the price of materials and what are the materials coming from other countries and what are the services in country. So now, if I'm looking at something, it better be 50% below market value. Okay. So I have 3 different companies in Maryland that I get stuff, and I don't know if they do it here or in Jersey. But these guys, they buy properties and they say, well, we buy them for cash. So they put them, they're not the MLS. So I get listings on the MLS, okay, they want to negotiate the price. Okay, so when I buy it straight from the owner, they get a marketing fee. Okay, and we're done. So from the market, I should try to put my marketing fee, I feel open cost, and that's how. And then calculate the part, okay, what's gonna be the half on it. Now, the biggest thing, like, from American, and it's based on, what would it cost if I have to do the water, or drainage system in go through days, okay? That might be a cost, because I don't get any houses until I've been improved. Okay.
In New Jersey, we have a lot of raw water for the food lots, so you have to complete the state to meet that. You know,
But
and then the radon, remediation, I think there's a lot of basements. I know, because New Jersey.
You have a basement, you're talking about, right? So we need to, we take that consideration, and then. We're talking to, tell them that health, and I say. Okay, tomorrow, I go, this, that's it, put all in consideration, yeah, we need, yeah, okay. We're done, make sure, so you can get my number more or less, but sometimes, it's the one I have now, there was nobody would take it. Then we just fall, nobody would think that. We got out on that. Everything from, and there was a 2 bedroom, 1 bath. Only the first two, but we came, we finished, we cut. We came in with 2 bedrooms and a bath in the basement. We did the other 2 bedroom bath on the first floor, and then the other room up on top. They tried to make a half bath up there, we deleted that completely, and we just made that a playroom. 800 square foot, so we went from 1,200 square foot living space to almost 3,000 square foot living space.
And you do all the permits and everything.
Yes, yeah,
Have you ever heard of-
pulled everything.
Have you ever heard of Renee Persinger?
No.
Okay, because she does a lot down here. She just got fired by one of the clients. Her house was just sitting. I mean, I think they, all right, so my research showed me she bought it for $995. 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, pool and jacuzzi, lake view, all right. We have the entire house. I mean, it's stunning. So $9.95. She has a team up in Tampa that comes to them. She told me she has like 150 people and they'll bang out that house in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And she put it on for 1,699. Well, it's sat. Now somebody else has it for 1,499, sitting. So I don't know, I mean, how much, loss that this gentleman's going to take, having rehab this entire house. Cause it's very tricky right now with what's going on with the market.
Yeah, it's the house for money. So I have to say,
You buy them
Oh,
outright.
yeah, I buy it
So,
outright.
yeah.
Absolutely. That's the only
Well,
way.
that's what he did, bought it out for $9.95. And then hired
So,
her.
he hired, he didn't do his own work.
Right.
Yeah, that's another thing too.
You gotta do your own, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like right now, I have a property in Maryland. It's a duplex. They're all in market.
Trying to get me the next class?
Yeah, I'm gonna see better. I'm having a problem
If you live in one.
looking at the numbers.
Yeah, a lot of people are looking for that.
But it's gonna take a buyer.
Old age is really phenomenal.
Your age?
Yeah.
Oh, my eyes are just.
Feel, you feel it, I'm not agree.
They even have glasses, I still can see them.
The number contact.
Yeah, that's right. That would be the best. I saw one out in Tampa actually. That's on the market. Really crap. It's just been sitting. I don't think people even think it's.
Hi, I'm trying to get a copy of my mortgage statement and someone sent it to me last week through some platform or whatever. So, hoping that some email me pretty quickly.
It's supposed to be United States, just one, but like, cash you. Yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of different stuff on here, we all have fun right now, whatever. But here, this, yeah, it's a real estate agent, it's a relationship, it's like, what can you do, and help. So that's been important.
Like I said, the big thing is that arena. I do commercial. I won't do replacements for that, somebody might also come, back, can you do an additional, but we have it, blah, blah. Because you're not gonna call me, I won't have my own contact. Well, why would they do that if I don't do it? Well, why not? I go, because it's so much drama, I just away dropping right now. I do commercial, these business people, they understand when I go numbers, they understand.
Yeah.
They know.
They know the get out, they know the whole thing.
Exactly, they understand what things are. As a resident, they have no idea because they don't do everything. So I click the window and then show it to you. I usually do a monster home.
Which one?
Monster home.
Oh, modular.
Help buy the lot, and then we did a whole modular whole thing.
Yeah, that doesn't, I would never even show that down here, one hurricane and you're out.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, you gotta be careful.
And then another thing I just for here, if they ain't break the box. No, if they don't break a block, I'm not looking at it.
I know, it's true.
Yeah, and me coming from South Texas, I'm used to hurricanes.
Good, how are
I
you?
live in Fort Smith, and then it was in the area. So I know the hurricane.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's over there.
Had share of hurricane. And so very good. Stay in touch.
All right, I
Talk to
will,
you.
take care, as I speak of it.
Thank you.
It's not a money sound.
Basically, just to fill the
Both in there.
payment
Oh,
of
there's
the mortgages.
I have to be careful, I'm on a new diet, so. I don't know. But I'm eating,
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, exactly.
Since I was good yesterday of all day. I had salmon, I had mahi.
nice.
I'm really good yesterday.
Yeah, Michael M.
Alright.
by the
Little
email.
drinking.
Problem is, I'm not able to use this Mindcast system for some reason. Can you just email it to me?
Oh, did you finish up with Chase, taught us a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
setting up our business?
Wow.
Remember Chase Profit?
Maybe while you're on the phone, if you could
Is
resend
this
it,
supposed to come in
and we can
again?
try to figure out what's wrong with this
Okay.
Mindcast.
Well, see, I have to answer the thing.
No.
Okay, okay, got you.
I've met you two ladies, I'm Erin.
Oh, yeah, you might have it.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. You guys seem like you're so experienced. How long you guys been in real estate?
Your boy's saying, right?
I don't know, but you guys know state. What state did you come from? Wisconsin. Oh, she said, huh? She said.
So it's a message by clicking here.
But congratulations on your last month. Oh, thank you very much. So what are you trying to do with a rental? You trying to get a rental? What do you mean? Are you trying to get a rental property? I thought she had said that in front of the class, Rebecca. No, I said that I help my kids a lot, so I'm paying rents, that's what I said. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The company. This is our application. So this is the price, and that's the cost.
Where's your practice?
Oh, I don't anymore.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, I
Have.
sold everything in Las Vegas.
So I take this.
Las Vegas.
Damn.
Here, they do work.
Yeah.
At a physical therapy clinic, they do just accident patients. And I'm there about 2 days a week for 5 hours. I oversee the PTAs and do exams, do couple adjustments. And then I do independent medical evaluation on accident patients. It's very part-time.
I don't know if you remember last, but I said that,
Companies, when I get them.
I had different hair last.
I get them from.
That's why you don't remember.
I remember you called me out.
Yeah. You say,
I had a good shift for over 30 years,
but,
but actually more than that.
I did this.
Well, technically, there's no such thing actually as a split. It's something
I
you
got a part-time job, you know.
to explain to patients, because they don't understand, I mean, the terminology we use, like.
You know, that kind of.
It's kind of just working in the realm of.
So if someone, one day said slips, they bulge.
Yep.
Bulging disc.
That's the big.
Herniated disc is worse. Sequestered disc, like I've had, usually requires some training. Prolapse and make sure.
I think that.
Bulging is the most common, bulging or protruded.
Like moving.
You likely had a herniated disc. If it had leg pain and all that, yeah, and now at this age. If it's herniated, it means it's lost a lot of water. And when that happens, it generates. And then what happens is you get stenosis or compression around the IVF and spinal fluid. And that will cause leg pain and then with tingling in the feet.
I guess that.
But it's weird, after the case of this street.
And that's the reason why.
Because.
Unless
So.
they golf,
You know, your final.
then.
Yeah, that's why I gave up golf. Actually, last time I golfed, I tore a meniscus in the left knee.
It's 30 when you
Regular,
get off early and, you know, he'll do.
30 years of vegetable, let's go to a mortgage bank. And that's.
I'm still, you know,
But.
database, getting that all shored up.
So this is the last
Getting
few months.
my health on my database there. Have you done that, 66?
Right there.
I'm doing 2 days in 2 days in month. Still do that.
It's really sad.
Yeah, tomorrow we get-
Everybody wants a piece of the pie, and, I always think of Old Man in the Sea, and sometimes.
Trying to convince my wife to get another computer, so when that plays, I can.
I did finally get the biggest.
I have my old desktop in my office, and it's 10 years old, but still working. I got it, my wife convinced me, you need a new, I didn't have a computer first, she convinced me, you need to get a laptop, the one, because the one I have is even older. So I'm doing the 66-day training. I'm letting the man here, and I got the video running, so I can pause it and practice. So it's like, so now what I'm doing is I'm working on getting the 4 main items plus the one that I can have. Let's send out. Then I just got my contact, most of my contacts are.
With that medical, so.
Now, you guys have a much better chance of getting people to come out here. I'm not gonna attract people from California or Nevada, because it's nice living out there.
She's not gonna give her just for the set.
You know, so I gotta go after trying to get them to buy vacation homes out.
That very.
I talked to a few agents, I said, do you guys do cold calls? You know, I mean, they expire.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's just how you do your business.
So it's, like you said, have your network.
I've been here in my license, so, you know. And how most of I call them customers, because technically they're not clients until
His goal that he set, he was gonna
So
do.
right now I have
100.
through my gutter guy, gonna install my gutters, one at home, and they're in Colorado.
Go to development and he was.
I had some friends at church with that are relocating from Nevada
100 days, then it
to
went to 200.
Florida. One of their
And that's
friends,
how he started.
I just got online asking questions.
So because I have a part time job, I can't do
Next
it.
thing you know, hey, send me some pictures of Sarasota. Next thing you know, I got her on a auto
They all
roll
need.
out here. So,
Not labor.
and then I've got.
Oh, because they-
Is it a condo out here? Handyman, people for vacation going out here. So I got.
Very early.
Weird. It needs snow. Anything happen.
This area.
Yeah, like yesterday, Saturday, we went to a party.
But my point was, they're all friends and family or
It's all
something,
friends.
yeah.
You know, we sat around with friends, and most of them met.
Actually,
That's the- so we're all talking about it, so I tell them that. How.
For sale by owner, and so I can't show your
Or
house until
potentially
you
want
find
to
it.
sell it.
No, I know.
That's right.
I don't want these little.
Was back home.
It's not just, hey, let's buy it. I got you.
For it.
Downsize, but they don't want a condominium.
So everyone just.
They still have a, you know, right now they have a 5-bedroom.
Sylvia. Yeah, so we're from Wisconsin, you have your license there? Yeah. How many years? Great. Very good, so like I said,
But
walking
yeah,
down
you
here.
know, I didn't want to push it that far, and I said,
Yeah.
okay, so
So it
let's
took me
talk this
6
week.
months.
They go, yeah, it's okay, let's go play.
That's what I've been doing.
But then I can try to talk to them. But my point is, I call it the cold calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got into that yet, and I'm right now, I'm still,
So.
I'm reading the $1 Million book. Reading that, so everything they said, reading this, I'll put things together, getting the social media down, branding myself, okay, this thing is what I'm doing.
These two couples.
The Google, they're talking about.
Very wishy-washy.
Thought about that.
Heard them like this.
It's
They're
not yet.
very, like it's just.
The Google is so much for brick and mortar places, you know, for real
Yeah.
estate.
A lot of people are guarded, they'll
Yeah.
do
You know,
it online.
I know my career on it, so I know.
So you have to make sure you have a good
But-
relationship with them.
To get
By
that
the
to
time
me,
I was done
if-
speaking with this one client.
oh, Google, they're not gonna see the names you marked it down.
No way.
I wasn't.
It gave
I
me
was
the
in
real
Colorado,
one.
eventually I was
Yeah.
popped up in my neighborhood, I was
When they
looking for
first
them.
came in.
It took 4 years to develop that, a lot of posting, I had to be patient. Please do, you, the Yelp too, it's big, Yelp is moving.
With an agent.
Location, big sign,
It's the agent's name.
and I didn't put.
John.
And then I didn't write it.
So it's like,
Okay.
you get the objection.
So here, actually, I'm interested in six hires and things. Done it 40 years ago.
It's funny.
I'm interested in the foreclosure.
Every
That's
day
cool.
when you're a realtor.
Cause I think there's gonna be some short sales
You
going
can
on.
stuff up. There's always something that you find out with each deal and you're like, holy crap. You know, and then you talk to your lender that you have a good relationship with or the title company and they're like, wow, we've never seen this one before.
Yeah, absolutely.
But as long as you get to that closing table, that's what counts, you know, and you gotta keep on going.
I was telling, Sandra, I want to play Sandra.
Well, my niece's name is that, so I'm okay.
I might be one who always calls people the wrong name.
Hey, how you doing? You too, how's it going? Good.
And he'll know.
You have a list.
What's up?
Not even-
I know.
Today. That's so funny.
But anyways,
How much are?
There's this one, there's. this one-
You have a model now? You say,
The only thing is some of them don't pay, like I.
That's not right.
Is that newer?
I have a whole database
No,
of
it's
labor
not
range.
newer.
Policy only paid
Only have these special
5,000.
classes coming up.
It's because of all the dance.
I know, but
Ah.
this was a year ago. so
That's why I was.
Okay, so.
So every person you talk to, they're like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, it's fine. So, yeah, this will all work well eventually, and then hopefully we'll be doing this.
If it's just a structural and.
Yeah.
Yeah, MI homes paying 5, but they're giving 5,000 bonus. So technically, if it's like 350 or 400, you're still getting the
If I
daylight.
did a flat rate.
One of the last people I talked to about that, like, they have a 5-year plan, so you can look at that and see what's upcoming and.
Well, that's, so like, the only ones that are flat rate.
No, and my house is also.
Yeah.
It's interesting that I did an open house.
Like,
And I haven't had much luck getting open houses, I called, sent emails, no, I'm not interested, no return. How do we get these open houses?
Yeah.
To do, great if it was all freaking listing, you need somebody to do it.
Yeah.
You're gonna do your own, I got it. But when you get famous and you have a bunch of listings, then you can call them. She kind of.
That's because they have all the.
Houses, it's a house.
They have a lot of
Area,
inventory, right, and it's
400,000,
just sitting
which is-
there.
Yeah.
That
Those
was
are
great.
just
But
like.
the association
And
fees,
so now
3 or
they're
4 a month.
offering them
Yeah.
up the
And
lease.
it's like for much.
I know.
$3 a
Yeah,
month.
offering up all the
Yeah.
It's not dated. You have.
Start far.
Yes.
Yard.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, cause I
It
went
doesn't
out
go
and
for
I'm
your
moving it.
cable or
Yeah, I went and got a
internet.
bunch of them.
Yeah.
And I just walked down the block.
We went to see the Meadows.
Oh, somebody's living in that one. This is the.
We saw a house,
Yep, Raymond homes are getting
Yeah.
there.
Their home's just sitting there.
hasn't been cheap.
You know what? There's some people
For
who goes for all these.
the appliances was 1975.
Wow.
But the house itself is beautiful, the swimming pool is
Yeah.
33 years.
But the appliances aren't, I mean, it's one thing that I did in real estate years ago and.
The HOA is 297, and then there's an after HOA of 3,000 a year.
Well, I had a whole meeting about
What?
10 years
Well,
ago.
that's, so you don't, if someone buying it doesn't know what they're gonna get into and it's.
Not really. Not really, you know, but that goes for anywhere really, I mean, so you could buy a home in an HOA and not realize that you're gonna redo your front page,
There's
you know,
one that
and then
hasn't.
just get
There's
it
some
out.
people right in the observatory,
I'm
read
doing
those
Florida
articles, they go,
general, HOAs in general, so I'm buying
it's
some
just
money, but
disgusting.
like,
You
you
know,
might want to
there's
buy a
some-
house
But
where
that's
you
what you
know, we live in,
do research.
just because the HOAs
Because
are what they
why
are
am
and
I gonna
there's no
buy
special
a
assessments
condo?
right now, doesn't mean you're not
It
doing
would
extra.
not
No, in Nevada, they do a thing out there, CIDs,
They have to see zero.
Okay. So you kind of pay that up front.
Start at zero.
I mean, it could be a couple thousand, like I had a house and it was like, I think $8,000 total. But they can finance it out, you pay.
$700-800.
What's this? Hey,
Well,
I sell the house, no more, you have association. No more
There's,
extra.
like, if you go down Lakewood Ranch,
Right.
I'm not sure.
Class restaurant, there's like
But
when
I'm pretty
it starts
sure.
real pretty, that's like
Right.
5 huge buildings with orange roofs. So I look at them all the time, cause I tell some, well, they used to be $5.99, it's like something different.
Right now, she has that dirty.
I mean, dang.
Yeah. people
On
think
the
Tony's
Columbia
love
River.
her.
In Fort.
And your view.
I know I
And
can
like
do it the way
property,
you
it's
told me.
Beautiful, but bottom
He's got the-
story,
Right.
looks
So
at the
they-
water
lake
and
behind, but for
look
sure.
at the person.
It's 9305.
Yeah.
My, one of my good buddies, a lender in Nevada, he's really cool on them.
Using that scroll line through
You know, I'm like, you gotta know, because I'm not really,
Oh, yeah, not, yeah. There's
like,
like,
she's.
isn't that all?
Yeah, no, but I don't know, you can't draw a line through it.
I think I'm drawn her.
Cause I can't draw lines.
So
for
she's
my-
looking for a car.
I have to print it out and do it the other way. We're doing it through DocuSign.
So I'm both kind of.
I just wanted to figure out.
He's like, she's like, oh, she shops around the area, places to go.
It's not far from San Circle.
Like, your face.
Like,
Go in there.
it's not far.
I don't know if it was that route, I mean, I don't know.
It's
White
location.
people.
See, I don't have.
Oh, no, no,
Not cheap,
we're not making it flood zone,
We're
Right,
69.
but hey.
For
is it-
1702.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, so they're from, yeah.
Cause I'm gonna try to.
Oh, yeah.
Some of my folks back.
Beautiful with lemon lime, it's behind the airline, so it's
Around the key, I'm in the desert.
$3.95 in Avanti is the only one, but they don't have a pool, they have nothing, it's.
So the bees are like-
Yeah.
We have a listing coming up soon, and I kind of want to just run a couple questions I have. They're in the.
You just have to come to my broker's open.
Okay, they're in
Next
the
week.
they're in the process of getting their homes painted and flooring. But there's like other things which is listing here is just different, that I'm just like have a few questions like. Cause I didn't even know like you couldn't do showing time until it was live, like that's not how it is in Wisconsin. These are so set up your showing time a week, 3 weeks prior and had it all printed out too and ready to go.
I bet you can't show the house.
So you can't show it, I'm just saying you could like set it.
So
up.
we're gonna share these two between everybody in here.
Right.
Share these two.
Get the work
Get
done.
the work done.
Yeah, get the work done here.
But like,
So-
or you wanna take, I'm just gonna say you guys all kind of have
Do you
like.
have your work done?
It's one per row, so maybe you and John share this.
Oh,
one.
okay.
So anyways,
And then
I don't know if
Mike
any
and-
questions.
Join us.
Yeah, or there's another set, so Mike and.
What's their-
I gotta hit the high trail.
Yeah, the two of you can share that one. Will you move up next to Mike to share the inspection report? You're so big
So
that I only printed 2 full copies. Thank you, ladies. Nice to
Take
meet
care,
you.
nice meeting you, nice meeting you. Take care.
Bye, Trevor.
Love you. Mwah. Have a great day.
All right, Mike, I'm gonna try. 90 pages, 62. That's for one section. Hold on, I'll do it now.
I got it. It's like this one, right?
And we're gonna go to your one. Yep. Give you
So I can modify
this one
here.
to share. Just make sure it doesn't delete anything. This one to share. This one to share. And I'll have one more. So you'll have 4 different packets we're gonna go over quickly. It's huge, but this is, we're going over inspections today.
Okay.
And then this is the wood screen WDI. I'll wait for him to come back. And we'll start off with wood destroying because it's the shortest.
What is good?
Yeah, wood destroying organism, it's the 2-page, 2-pager, yep, we'll start with that one. I'm sorry, is this one?
Wood destroying organism.
It's improved.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna start with wood destroying, so. When you have a home. And you wanna get an inspection on it, you definitely want to get termite inspected, right? Especially in the state of Florida,
especially in moist climates, especially everywhere in the country. Because guess what's everywhere? Termites. Okay, it also will search for wood eating bees, what are they called? The carpenter bees. It will find carpenter bees. It will find anything that is a wood destroying organism. So it's not just termites on here. It will check you every like all of the wood destroying organisms. So should there be visible ones, then it will tell you live ones, where they're located at. Number 2, evidence, where they'll take pictures. So if they see droppings, or if they see dead larvae, if they see whatever it is that they see, where the damage is at, where it's been noted at, then it will go through. They do not take apart any places of the house. What they'll do is they'll take like a hammer or something like that, and they'll go around your baseboards and they'll hit the baseboards. See if anything drops down underneath, because the sellers may have just swept the home, cleaned the home, whatever, to get rid of any kind of evidence that may be sitting there. But they'll go around throughout the space and they'll hit that. They'll do things like that. I highly recommend if you go to it, that you go to every inspection, because you want to see things firsthand for yourself. I only printed a couple of copies, so we'll have to share or pass them around, because they are so large. We're doing home inspections today. That's what we're going over. So they've got a set over there. There's a set up here in the front. Do you want me to print off a third set, or are we okay? Yeah. Do we need to print off a third set, or are we okay? Think we're okay? Okay. So we're gonna say for attic, what they looked at. They looked at the attic floor beams and access. Reason, unable to see beams covered by insulation. Again, they don't disturb anything. Unable to inspect the attic fully, space was limited. But they will look at the beams that are uncovered. They will look around the perimeter. They'll see what they can see. They'll climb all the way up in there. Go along like your joists, your beams at the top, all of that. So everything structural that they can see. Interior, kitchen, bathroom, and walls. Unable to see behind or under installed cabinets. Again, we're not going to undo cabinets. We're not going to take things apart. We're not going to do any of that. It's all going to be a visible inspection. It's not going to be an inspection that is taken apart. Okay. Exterior, they're checking the fascia. And then they're saying the reason it was covered by metal sheeting. So they can't see what's underneath of the fascia. All they can do is kind of tap on it, see if anything falls out, that sort of thing. Crawl space, there's no crawl space in this property, and there's no other areas of inspection for this property. Evidence of previous treatment observed? No. If yes, the structure exhibits evidence of previous treatment, list what was observed. So had this property had termites prior and had a termite bond or whatever, then you would see where like maybe even portions of wood had been removed and new had been installed, things like that. So again, this is what they're certified to look for, what they're certified. We are not certified termite people. We go on them, and then this gets reported back to the Division of Agricultural Environmental Services. So this goes back to them to say, hey, termites are in this area, not in this area, whatever.
Quick question, so
Yep.
on that piece,
Yes.
on their evidence, is it
Mhm.
a good thing if they check yes, because it has been either
Treated?
treated,
It's just a knowledge-based thing.
okay,
As long as there's no active, it's fine if it's been treated previously and treated properly.
okay.
So that's where their response would fall into this, okay? And then a notice of inspection has been affixed to the structure on the electrical panel. So they've put either a magnet or a sticker on the electrical panel saying that this company has, it's called a Bugs Life Pest Management is the company that I hired for this. And it was actually subbed out by the home inspector that I hired. So they generally have someone that they work in tandem with very, very closely to do all of their inspections with. Okay, you generally do not have to find your own termite inspection. And then they schedule their inspection around, because the termite inspection takes 30 minutes. So they usually have a 4-hour window for your home inspection that they can come within.
So when you order a home inspection, the termite.
You tell them, you tell the home inspector that you want
You're
to.
supposed to have termite inspection of the property there.
You do not have to, no, it's not a requirement.
No.
No, it is not a
Well,
requirement.
People have it with all the black.
Absolutely. They always have, yeah, I recommend, I don't let any of my clients not, I tell them it's a required inspection.
Okay.
That I do not feel comfortable selling them a home
Yeah.
that has not had a termite inspection. I mean, you're protecting the largest asset you'll probably ever buy.
How about
So-
mold? Is that?
Mold?
Yeah.
Mold isn't required at all either, but again,
You can see sometimes when you mold.
absolutely, and you can open up the cupboards.
Can I
A lot of
always
times
see
you can
it?
smell
You
it.
can smell it.
You see the mustiness, you'll see the
That's a big one,
sporing.
Yeah, yeah, and again, you also, when you're doing your home inspection, if the home inspector finds mold, then you're gonna move forward and you're gonna get a full mold inspection anyway, or a mold spore count. So again, that comes with having a very
Is that
seasoned
common here,
license.
the mold or?
A mold inspection?
No, just mold in general.
Well, it just depends. I mean, my brother and sister-in-law have a home that was built 7 years ago and they had a complete mold infestation in the attic that they had no idea that they had, that got
Yeah.
into their HVAC system.
Yeah.
You know, their kids were getting sick.
Yeah.
So, you know, because the house wasn't built proper, so now it's a class action lawsuit against the builder.
So if you have your inspection and you say go through your termite, but then you also find the mold, but then you wanna do a mold test, it's not in your offer, it's not contingent upon your offer.
Well, you,
Within the inspection period.
it's, as long as it's in the inspection period, exactly.
So even if you don't call out, you wanna have a mold?
No, you don't have to call anything out.
Oh, gosh.
Cause you're here and as is, you have 10 or 15 days, whatever, and then you just extend your inspection period. Or otherwise you're buying, and then there's no way the seller's gonna say, no, we're not gonna extend your inspection period or whatever, because you're going out of contract then. And they're losing their EMD and they're out of contract. They wanna keep that client in contract.
Yeah. You
So,
can just add it on if you want. You could do
Yeah,
add on
yeah.
a pool inspection, all.
absolutely, you can do any, if you read on the contract itself, that there's 10 days, 15 days, however many days that you want to do your inspection during, it says right on there is no limit to any inspections.
I thought you had to specify. what
Absolutely
inspections
not.
you wanted.
Absolutely not. Nope. In other states, yes.
Yes.
Here, no. Yeah, in Maryland, you have to specify everything.
Yeah, that's how
But there's,
Wisconsin is.
but there's also a paragraph on there that you can initial and have your buyer's initial that states anything inspector deems necessary. So that's your extra clause, that just because you didn't do mold or radon at the start, that, you know, that they say, oh, there's mold in this house, you should probably get a mold inspection. Okay, well, there's my add-on for that. But here, as long as whatever inspections you're doing, as long as it's within the time frame, you're hold.
And that's for standard as well.
Standard is a little bit different, but most people don't even use the standard because it automatically puts the seller on the hook for doing, you know, $2,500 in repairs.
Yeah.
So what do you
Right.
typically?
I only use as is. And I only want as is. on
And
my
you
properties.
only tell that to your clients, you don't even tell them about the standard? Okay, I wasn't sure if that was.
Unless that's what the listing agent
Requires,
Yeah.
correct,
Yeah.
Cause I did see that.
But is a-
correct. I require the as is on my listings.
That was what I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, I
When
require
you
the
do
as is.
that?
Because I don't want my sellers on the hook for $2,500 before anything's ever been said and done. Now, Neighbor, which is Naples, they have a whole other realm of things down there. They have their own contract, so be careful. Basically, it's like the Mason-Dixon line in Florida. If you go south of Port Charlotte, south into Bonita, any of that, you'll see our listings are very, very small because Neighbor takes over, which is Naples Area Board. They take over and they have their own contract, they have their own everything. So be very leery if you work further south of that. So I'm licensed and I'm part of the MLS down there and the MLS up here. So I'm very fluent in the Neighbor stuff and then very fluent in ours. And theirs is a whole other ball of wax. If it's something that's wrong, so there was water intrusion in a house, the sellers were already on the hook for repairing the water intrusion.
Before it closes.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not
We're
how it is
closing-
with ads.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's how it is
No.
in Wisconsin. We would be like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So down there, the sellers, which I have the buyers, the sellers had to replace the roof, they had to repair all the water intrusion, they had to add, they have a electronic, Insta-Hot water heater. They had to add clean out valves because there were no clean out valves on there. These were all mandatory things that the
Yeah.
sellers had to do, whether it was us or someone else.
So now if it's as is, they don't have to do any of
They don't have
that.
to do
The
it.
buyer takes it as it is, yeah.
Correct. Now they can ask for repairs,
Yeah.
but then the seller can say yes or no.
Yeah.
But they are not on the hook for automatically repairing, whereas Neighbor, you're on the hook for automatically.
So
repairing.
in your listing appointments, do you set them up and tell them about how the contracts work?
So
Absolutely.
you'd say it's as is on all your.
Yeah,
listings?
I request an as is only contract. Now, whether or not an agent sends me an as is, my client can say, put this on as is and send it back to the agent.
What do you tell your sellers of the difference in the contracts?
That we're automatically agreeing to do repairs. As soon as an offer comes in, you're under contract. You're automatically agreeing to whatever is a major necessity on that agreement.
Okay, and not to bring up the past, but as is, okay, is there something other than as is?
The standard residential. There's two different ones.
Okay,
Mhm.
because
I don't
that's all I
even-
ever knew was as is.
Yeah, I don't even teach the standard because no one wants it. I mean,
As your listing agent, you wanna protect your sellers, so it's as is,
Absolutely.
they have to do the inspection, and if they find
And just
something.
about where the listing agent protects their sellers.
Yeah,
And they put on there, right, offer
Okay.
on the RCOS as
I
is,
just want.
as is contract. Yeah, write your offer on this because that's the only thing we're gonna look
When I
at.
saw the two, I was like, is there?
I don't even teach this.
Okay,
I don't even teach the second because I don't want you using it.
I wouldn't, no.
So, I mean, you're doing your clients a disservice, especially if you're in a multiple offer situation and that's the one you're using, you're automatically getting put in the round five.
If you're a new agent, and you just don't have that skill set yet.
So, yeah, so again, that's a big thing for that, so.
Are there any other tests that you should automatically get besides the inspection and the termite?
Yes, I'll get into that, which is the 4-point, I
Oh,
printed
yeah,
that out
okay.
as well.
Didn't even.
And I'll tell you why the 4-point is very important
Is that
as
the
well.
wind and?
Windmill and 4-point,
Okay.
yes.
Can you explain what those are too?
Sure, yeah, absolutely, we can go to that next if you'd like. Yeah, we can go to that next, so pull up the 4-point report.
Actually,
Something that
I
I
got
read
new
is-
health insurance.
You need to keep
They're
that.
They were,
required.
yeah, they were what, there you guys, me all this information there, hold on.
Yeah, they require it. And this inspection, is sometimes brought up. I don't know how often insurance companies require it, but insurance companies now are flying drones over properties that they haven't insured. And they're saying the roof looks X amount, just because you've had this home for 10 years, the roof looks like it's aging faster. You need to put a new roof on it or get a 4-point wind mitt. And it has to pass this 4-point wind mitt, which is $250, $300, give or take, to get this, and that's the cost of this inspection. And the home inspector, as long as he is licensed to do a 4-point and wind mitt, let me put that out there. Will go out there, he will fly a drone, and then he will look at all of this information. So all of this information is pertinent to homeowners insurance. So my buyers we're closing on this property tomorrow. So my buyers did not have to have homeowners insurance because they're a cash transaction. Yes, they're a cash transaction, but they want, obviously, homeowners, because should a hurricane come and wipe out their property in Bonita Springs, they want to make sure that their investment is protected, right? For the couple $1,000s a year that it costs to keep this property, covered with the best insurance, we had to have a 4-point and wind mitt. Since the sellers had to put on a new roof, we had to wait until the very last minute to get this inspection done because we wanted it to be with the new roof, obviously. Okay, so we'll go through this. So general conditions, the structure type, that it's a single family home, concrete block construction, it's a 1-story structure. The lot type, the home is built on a flat lot and the home was built estimated 24 years ago. They're gonna pull all of this information off of the tax records, okay? Huh?
Inspector.
Yeah, the inspector. Yeah, the inspector. Yeah, obviously he's looking at it and he's pulling the information from the tax records.
Cause then they give this to insurance later.
Correct. This came back to me and my client automatically forwarded it to his insurance agent. His insurance agent bound the property. Now I'll talk to you about binding here in a minute as well, if you guys don't know what binding is. And then the property is then bound for insurance and then now we can settle with insurance. We did not, again, because this is a cash transaction, we did not have to bind this prior to settlement, but obviously my client wanted it done immediately. So we now have this bound. So the pictures will be the front view, the rear view, the left view, the right view of the property. Then it will go on to say for the comments, and this section is for roof. So as you see, a wind mitt inspection is 21 pages long for this particular property. This could be more, this could be less. Again, all of these things had already been corrected. So this is a very, very straightforward 4-point wind mitt, okay? So roofing type, sloped tile, if the roof is composed of materials such as tile that can be damaged if walked upon, the roof is not mounted. So obviously, they took pictures from the ground, or he took pictures from a drone. Because walking on top of a tile roof will crack your
Oh,
nose.
yes.
Okay? Number of layers of conditions, 1. Roof appears to be watertight. Obviously, because it was just put on the last week. And then it got, so the same day that this happened was our final, which we passed all of that. No visible leakage noted at time of inspection. Estimated age of the roof is 0 years old. New roof 2025. Here's the permit date, the application date. The life remaining is 22 to 25 years.
So tile lasts 25.
So tile technically can last 30 to 40. They only state approximate life 20 to 25 because insurance doesn't want to pay beyond 20, 25 years because that means anything can happen weather-wise in that 20, 25, 30-year span. If we had perfect weather for 22 years, then obviously it's going to have a 30-year life or a 40-year life. We have 3 hurricanes a year. We have crazy amounts of rain. We have tornadic activity. We have all this stuff. They are not going to call an estimated life of a roof all the way till it's to its warranted date. Okay, they're never going to do that. Like I said, this is a brand new 30-year.
What does
This
it
might
look
even be a
like
40-year roof. Huh?
What does a roof like this cost?
This costs $38,000. Yeah.
How
this-
big, how big a home?
2,100 square feet, 2,200 square feet.
$38,000.
For tile?
$38,000
For
for tile.
tile, but I haven't seen any
It's
tile
expensive.
around here.
Oh, there's tile all over around. here.
Tile's like everywhere.
Yeah, tile's all over around.
Asphalt is less common here.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's usually on townhomes or.
2
Yeah,
stories.
you run into new
yeah, or
asphalt
one-off
in
builds.
Vegas,
Yeah.
everything is tile there,
Oh yeah,
everything.
Yeah. yeah. No,
There's
there's
tiles everywhere here.
it's both here.
Not in our homes.
Now you cannot. Does anyone know that you cannot go from a shingle roof to a tile roof? You
What?
cannot go from a shingle
Why?
roof to a
Why?
because tile roof weighs too much.
Can it go to metal?
Yes.
Wait, say that again, please.
If you have a shingle roof, you
Yeah.
cannot upgrade your roof to a tile roof.
Oh, because it might not have the right structure.
Correct.
Yeah.
It cannot hold the weight.
Yeah.
of
How
a
much is
shingle
the
roof.
shingle roof typically?
How much?
$8,000 for that size home? Less?
12, 15.
Oh, really? So that, wow.
Yeah.
They weren't-
12, 15.
Also shingle to
Yeah,
shingle,
shingles.
shingle to metal is okay.
Yeah, shingle to metal is fine. Shingle to shingle is fine. Shingle to tile, no bueno.
Do you have?
Tile to shingle, yes, I don't know why you'd want to do
Yeah.
that. But unless it's for cost saving measures, but then you're still having to remove all of your weather bonding and your
Your ridge caps.
you have to redo all of that. So
How about
again,
the, what's the other tile, the,
Slate,
slate?
we don't really-
slate's heavy, I think it's
It's-
heavy.
I think
Yeah,
it's
it is.
yeah,
It's a heavier stone.
yeah.
Cause
So
the tile roofs are more porous.
I
yeah,
love it.
they're because they're terracotta.
How's
Yeah.
that cost? Did you know that?
I don't know
Oh,
that.
that's even more. That's
Yeah,
like the
it's-
most expensive.
it
of
is.
the body, yeah.
Yeah, I
They'll-
I haven't had anybody.
They'll
do
last for
a plate.
100 years. If you look at Vanderbilt, they still have the original slate roof on the Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, so then this is just more pictures, but I included all of this to give you the full view of what they're looking at. So you're looking at your caps, you're looking at your ridges, you're looking at where the screen and the gutter system connects. So again, lots and lots of pictures because the insurance company wants lots and lots of pictures. So like there's 6 or 7 pages. So now roof comments on the bottom of page 10.
I didn't understand this one. Not a code compliant.
Read it. Read the whole sentence. That's exactly where I'm going. Bottom of page 10. This inspection of the roof is not a code compliance inspection, which means they do not work for the county. They are not doing this as a code inspection or a code compliance inspection. This property still needed to be inspected by a code inspector for the installation of the roof, which happened the same day that this happened, which we passed. You always have to get a permit to do a new roof. It has to have a water bond. It has to have a nail bond. It has to, you go and you look up this inspection, go to the Bonita Springs permit inspection. It will tell you back on page, I think it will tell you the permit number on page 3. So if you guys want to copy page 3 and go to Bonita Springs to the permit, you can see all the documents and the inspections, whether it passed, whether it failed, what happened, what the comments were, whatever, if it was rescheduled.
Here in Sarasota too.
Yeah, you can go to Sarasota permits, you can go to Manatee permits, you can track any permit on a portal. But if you wanted to track this particular permit and see that it was closed out property, and I highly recommend that you look up by property. Any inspection or any permit that has been applied for on a property that you are making an offer on, because guess whose due diligence it is to make sure that there are no open permits on this property.
Ours.
Really? It's not the buyers?
It's all of the above. Who are you representing?
Yeah.
So this wouldn't, I mean, if you didn't have a new roof done, that would say something different here.
Say something different.
Okay.
Well, no, he would still have that because he's not full compliance, no matter what. That's his caveat, that he's not doing this for code.
So when the county come for inspection, do they have to go up onto the roof?
No, they do the same thing. They do it from the ground via drone. Yeah, they do it from the ground, just like this guy would do.
Okay.
So, yeah. Yeah, so it says, basically, this is his caveat saying that code compliance manufacturer specifications or any product component item should be verified through the local building authorities, the company who manufactured the product or item, or with the seller. That's him saying, I'm just inspecting it, but I make no warranty that this has been done with a permit or that this is, is code compliant. Okay, that's his way of covering his CYA. Okay. Then the next part of the 4-point is heating and cooling. So this is an electrical or split system forced air. Electrical disconnect provided near this unit. Unit is located at the garage. The heating system was put in 2013. Approximated life remaining of 3 to 4 years. My clients knew this because it's also in the inspection. Okay, we didn't care about this. It was working perfectly at the time of contract. We also offered $35,000 less than list price. So my clients took this into effect when we made the offer.
Okay, so. The heating, they're just saying the heating system is old.
Yeah.
It's that old.
Yeah, it's just telling you that it's, put in 2013. They're saying the estimated life is 3 to 4 years, but if it's serviced, it could stay for
3
10
to 4
years.
years left
On.
And how much did you get a credit for?
I didn't get a credit. We took this into account because guess who's getting up there and looking at the dates on these things when I'm making an offer?
Yeah.
This girl.
Always looking.
So you made, what'd you make the offer less? How much?
She just price reduced it.
35,000
Oh,
For this?
beautiful.
on this property.
Yeah.
I got a 35.
Because they're about what, 10,000, 12,000 in place.
But
Yeah.
there were other things. There were other things, like there was some drainage which I'll show you in the inspection report, that I had already taken into account for, but then they were required to repair because that's how the neighbor contract works. See, I rigged the sellers over the coal on this property because their agent, they didn't know that I took all of this into account when I made my offer, knowing that they still needed to make certain repairs. I knew that they had to do the structural repairs. I knew that they didn't have to replace the screen, but I got them to replace the screen because the screen is not a structural functional thing. Screen is a screen.
So then your buyers went and did all the fixings after closing? with
No,
the
seller had to fix it all, and we got.
Because
we
of
just got-
where it was at, it wasn't an
You
as
got the
if.
fixes and the discount.
Correct. Because I did it all during negotiation on the offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was listed at $625, we're settling for $590.
So then with this inspection, let's just say that this ACE unit is bad and needs to get redone and we're in the as is and we can negotiate.
Yeah.
Can you then, oh shit, I just lost my thought.
You can ask for a credit.
Yes, you can
Yeah,
ask
you
for
can ask for
but
credit.
you don't have to go and get an estimate in that time, you just
So
make
you
up a
guess
number.
pick a number.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
Yeah, you make up a number.
That is a take up a freaking number like that. How do you know what these things cost?
Well, you ask a seasoned agent.
Yeah, how much does an AC unit cost on a home? 6 grand, 8 grand?
Oh, no, 8 to 12.
Yeah,
For a small one.
yeah, 8 to 12.
For a
But-
one, for a 2-ton unit.
For this unit,
For
I
a
thought,
for a
For
2-ton.
this, yeah, it's gonna be
I
12,000.
It's gonna be 12,000.
I thought in
unit?
Florida,
Yes.
each air conditioner is only lasts for 10 years.
Sometimes 20. There's nothing that,
Yeah.
and it's kept up. Then it can last way longer.
Water heater.
Just like getting an oil change on your car. You never change the oil, it's gonna die in 4 years. If you change the oil every 6,000 miles or 7,000 miles, it's gonna last for 100,000 miles.
Yeah, you need to maintain.
It's
your
maintenance.
estate.
Everything is maintenance.
Our water heaters, we bought this house and it's got 2014 written on it. I go, this thing is ready to go and it needs to go because parts of the area take forever for it to get warm. But, and we got it on warranty, but we're like, should we just put some holes in the back or something, get this?
No, because that'll
kidding.
avoid you.
Yeah, I know,
That'll avoid.
but
you.
it's still kicking, that's what I'm saying, it
So
shouldn't
you
be
can
going
be
out.
You can be preemptive and change something that isn't broken, or because you don't wanna be inconvenienced with a broken water
Right,
heater
right.
and not being able to get the permit, get it installed,
Right,
have no hot water for 3 to 5
right,
days.
right,
Or you can let it ride out till
Yeah.
its last dying day and then get inconvenienced.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like you said about going, if you've never done it, going the inspection, which is what I did.
yes,
Yeah.
And so everything else was relatively new, all the big appliances. But now the inspector found that it was the original hot water heater. So now she was having trouble now getting her homeowner's insurance.
because the 4 point
Yep.
covers water heaters.
And is it true that insurance, it deems anything that's 13 years or older as something that needs to be replaced? Cause I had talked to an insurance agent and that's what they had said. Like once you're past
It
13
depends.
years,
It depends.
It depends.
so how do you know what to?
This was
You
a
don't,
1999.
it's however the
condo.
house is, whatever that their
Right.
finding is, what the insurance underwriter is, what that underwriter
There's too many
requires.
variables with insurance.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
I stay in my lane. I
Yeah.
just get the reports, I submit the reports, and then that's on the buyers to figure out if that's.
But the thing that's troubling for me is like insurance can be astronomical, like
Oh, okay.
Yes.
like 8 grand, 15 grand a year,
Oh.
and how do you like? I have to also coach my clients to expect these things and to know that that's an impact on their budget because they may want a note HOA, but then they're willing to pay that. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's like how do you know what it's gonna come out to? To hell
So
is
during
gauge.
during your inspection period, have them call out insurance.
Yeah,
Get a preemptive number.
yeah.
Cause they're gonna be able to pull it up and do a claim check on that property immediately, any good insurance
But
company.
then you can do that before you wrote an offer, so you didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, but I mean, especially now you have time to do that. But in
know.
2020, 2021, 2022, you didn't have any of that time.
So we could just call an agent right away.
Absolutely, and say, hey, I'm looking to put an offer in on this property. What's,
Give me a ballpark.
Yeah, give me a ballpark.
Okay.
And, or you can also ask the seller, hey, can you tell me, give me your docs line and what you're paying for a homeowner's insurance so that I can possibly get this bound with your property, with your same agent.
Oh, so that's how
So
you
you can do
find
that.
it.
Yeah, you can do that too.
You can find it because it's already an existing.
Not necessarily, but you can request, because your client's credit worthiness is not the same as the seller's.
Yeah,
So again, that all comes into play as well.
but you could take over their policy essentially, is that what you're saying?
No, it would be a brand new policy,
Okay.
but they would quote your clients on it,
Oh, because they're the same agent for the same house, got it,
Yes.
okay.
because they already know the history of the
Yeah,
house.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, they already know the history of the house. Yeah. Okay, so, and then you can just kind of go through the rest of this for, heating and cooling, the age. It looks at the external on page 12. It looks at, here's the shut off valves. Now, it is connected to public waste, and then it goes on to say, CPVC, no leaks noted at the time of inspection. That's at the water heater, which, again, you'll see that the manufacturer date was 2018 for this water heater, but guess what? This water heater was not installed until 2022. So it sat in a factory for 4 years prior to it being installed. We only know this because we have the receipt of the date of installation because the sellers were adamant on keeping their receipts. So we know technically this is only a 3-year-old water heater, but it looks like it's a 7-year-old water heater. Okay, so he can only tell what the manufacturer date that states on there. And then this did not have temperature pressure relief valves. It didn't have any of that prior. Something when I went into the property, prior to us putting in an offer, I said, this will be a $600 to $1,000 repair after the fact, will be to do all of this. Well, because I had the home inspector, I was smart enough to have the home inspector notate it into the home inspection as a red line item. Guess what we got repaired? That my clients also double dipped on the offer price.
Well,
I do not have to justify my offer price to the sellers as to why we are making this offer. This is the price my clients are willing to offer. I just educated my clients prior to offer that you're going to have to invest $1,000 for this. You're going to have to put into reserves $10,000 to $12,000 for this. You're gonna need you know, $2,000 in repairing the stucco and fixing the drainage and the landscaping down the left side of the perimeter of the property. You're gonna need to do, you know, there's water intrusion, it looks like in this closet, we're gonna have to figure out what that's going to cost us. You know, so I'm ticking all these boxes off in my head, that I'm deducting the price off the ask price. And that's my opening negotiating number, which the sellers took. They had not been in the property in 18 months. They were not coming back to Florida for anything. The mother, the reason why they had bought the property here, the mother passed away. They were not coming back to this area. They're back in Nebraska or somewhere, wherever they're from, somewhere out west. So that's where they're currently living, and they didn't care. They were at the point where they just needed to get rid of the property, which was to my client's benefit. He wanted to buy the property, they wanted to sell the property. But they had no idea why we were making that number as our offer number, okay? And because of the way that the neighbor contract is, it states in there all of the structural things. So when we came to time to send the inspection report over, I sent the list over of all of the things that needed to be repaired, that were part of that, you know.
Yeah, okay, so then, oh shit, I just lost my thought again. So when you get these reports, do they list out things as defects or not in the state of Florida?
And I'll show you that. Yep.
Okay,
Well, we'll
they
get to
do.
that 62-page full property inspection.
Okay,
And then we're gonna go to the synopsis first,
yes,
because that will show you, and if, I should have printed that one in color, I didn't, because it basically show you, it'll color coordinate for you.
and then what was the thing you told your guy to write in there as a defect?
The water heater, there were no clean out valves. So in an Insta Hot water heater,
Which is this one on the
which is,
wall?
yep,
Okay.
yep, that is an Insta Hot.
Yep.
So it has these coils through it, and through these coils, it runs the water. Well, it needs to be flushed every 6 to 12 months. Yeah, scoot in closer somewhere. I have a, here, you know, look at this one, Wayne. Yeah, we're going over an inspection report, here.
No, I don't know.
Here, you guys take mine, you guys take mine.
No,
Yeah,
because
hold on,
I
I'm
have
gonna-
time-
because I'm pretty good at it.
Do you have the things that you look for? We figured you did.
In my brain,
Oh,
I'm gonna go over the summary, but here, take this one, cause I'll keep summary for me. This is the full inspection, this is a
I
4
haven't
point.
worked with these.
This is what we're currently going over is a 4
I
point.
have seen him.
And why a 4 point is,
Is
okay, you guys should take that one, check out that one.
that what he?
So every 6 to 12 months needs flushing?
Yes, it's flushing. This one had just straight valves on it. From the main water line originally, it was already repaired prior to this 4 point. You will see it in the inspection report when we get there.
Okay.
And that will show you, you know, why you need to be fluent. And I'm gonna have a home inspector come in and actually talk to you guys.
I'd love that.
I'm gonna have a
That'd be
home
so
inspector come in and
helpful.
talk to everyone, because to hear it from their point of view is different than hearing it from an agent's point of view, which is the point I'm telling you. So when I walk into a home, if this is the home I'm walking into, right? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look at all of the important things. I'm gonna look at the water heater. I'm gonna look at the HVAC. I'm gonna look at the plumbing. I'm gonna look at all of the roof. I'm gonna look at the structure of the property. I'm gonna walk the entire perimeter behind the bushes. I'm gonna see, is there stucco damage? Have they gone through and had sprinkler damage? Do they have a sprinkler system? Is it on a rainbird? How old is the system? Is it functioning properly? I mean, I'm looking at making mental notes and physical notes of all of these things, so that when I go back for the inspection, I can pick my inspector's brain and say, hey, this water heater does not have clean out valves. I need you to notate that. He may not have even noticed that it didn't have, he should have, but did not even notice or would not have notated, because that is not a must have in his opinion. Okay?
I can bet you've driven some of these guys crazy, huh?
Hell yes. But they work with me because I give them a lot of business. I give them a lot of business.
Can you send us like one of your inspectors on contact, if you don't mind? I'll text you just so.
Lisa from FBI closing, she gives these nice pens.
Uh-huh.
She'd love to do it. She's got a team that would love to do exactly what you said. And you're spot on, because if you go through, I went through one of my closings and say there's water damage.
Yeah.
He was not gonna move the refrigerator out.
No.
Right, and I insisted he move it out.
Yeah.
Once he did, there was about all the mold and everything else behind it. But you're right to do that, because they have routines.
If you are not there and only the buyer is there, I mean, they're only gonna do what they're pushed to do. So they know by the agent that they're going to, you know, work, because they're working for your buyer. They're not working for the seller. But if I'm walking around and I'm saying, hey, this fridge, what is that? I got my flashlight back there. oh, well, I'm gonna scoot it out a little. I'm gonna pull it out and check and see, make sure that the water's hooked up. You know, I'm not just gonna run it out of the fridge and say, oh, yeah, it's good to go. And then on the back, it's leaking. You know, it's all those kind of things. I'm looking underneath of the cabinets. I'm making sure that that inspector is looking with a flashlight and taking pictures. Is that dishwasher leaking into under the kitchen sink? You know, is the plumbing leaking? Is the, you know, turn all the water on, put the stopper down in the sink, fill the sink up, let the water out, because guess what? That's sometimes the only way that you know that the drain is leaking underneath of the sink.
So when you
Because
ask,
of pressure.
when you ask the inspector to come to do these 4 points.
Yeah.
If you ask them to do more than what says contract, is there additional fee?
No, they're inspecting, doing
Oh,
what, yeah.
okay.
Now the 4 point, that's the things they're inspecting, yes.
So my question on that was, when I had to do a 4 point, he stayed there, and I said, wait a minute, when I talked to him, I said, I want a 4 point and I want a full property.
Uh-huh.
To get a combo, cause that's when I brought all
They
the
get-
details.
yeah,
So
they
he
get
was
a
not
discount.
gonna- Yeah, he was not gonna do that 4 point,
Yeah.
he was not gonna look inside like the water to see if there was water behind the refrigerator or whatnot.
That 4 point does not do that.
Right.
Yeah,
But it's
but the inspection does.
full inspection, you get that tied in.
Yes.
You're right, they give you a
Yeah,
discount.
they give you a discount if they do it all at the same time. We could not do ours all at the same time because I knew we needed a new roof. I knew it was going to take 4 to 6 weeks for a new roof. But I went back to the same company and I said, hey, we are going to be doing this when the new roof gets put on. I'd still like our discount. And so they did it for me for $150. So I did it for my client, I should say, for $150 instead of $250.
Are you setting appointments for your clients with the inspections, or do they call?
No, I said it all.
I said it all.
I said it all because I want to make sure it matches with my schedule
Mhm.
and then it matches, you know, with their schedule. And then I'll say, okay, give me 2 times and dates. I'll call my client and I'll make sure that those 2 time and dates work for me. Call my client and say, would you like Tuesday at 2 p.m. or would you like Wednesday at 9 a.m.?
And are they typically 4 hours for inspections?
Depends on the property size.
So seller's supposed to be here,
No, seller should not be there. It's
No.
time for the buyer to,
buyer to be,
So 2 hour minimum.
oh yeah, definitely 2 hour minimum.
so buyer could be there.
Buyer
Yeah,
should
buyer
be
should be
there.
there.
Buyer absolutely should
Yeah,
be
they
there.
have to
It's
be
time for them to get to know their new home.
And they hear.
It's like a meet and greet with the home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a meet and greet for the home because
Should
when
we
you're
be there?
Yeah.
absolutely 1000%.
Cause you're gonna learn from that inspector, you're gonna ask them questions, you're gonna become more knowledgeable what to look at, John, when you go to different homes.
Yes. Yeah.
'Cause you're-
They're gonna train
buyer,
you too.
Wanna know.
Yep.
Everybody.
So
Yeah. You don't just wait for a home inspection and come back and then go, oh, I didn't see it. I wasn't there. So
So for electrical, inspection, they just check the box.
they take the front panel off the box and make sure that no breakers are double tapped.
Right.
They check the breakers, make sure that they're amped properly. They know all of what they're checking for
They're
inside
not
of the
checking
breaker.
the plugs or they.
They're checking up all
Yeah.
the plugs.
I mean, let's say the house is like in 1970s and then
They're
That's
rotating the
the
wiring.
owner
Is
never,
it paper wiring? Is it old tube wiring? Is it?
Do you still have knob and tube here?
I haven't come
I
across
was gonna
that.
say knob and tube is not a thing here.
No, I know.
Let me, a situation happened in our home and I did this, haven't fought it, I
Mhm.
thought about it, but. Cause I bought it out of state
Mm-hmm.
and my realtor did not, I mean, I wish I had you. Cause the realtor I have, I didn't tell my wife, but I said, he messed up in a lot of areas, but we're not gonna go over that. But the pool had originally had a solar heater, they got rid of it, the solar. put it- Yeah, and they put a heat pump in it. Came by, inspector says, the pool heater is working. Well, come when we got here and got moved here, got in the home and everything was pretty much good. Well, the heater turns on,
But it doesn't actually.
but it doesn't actually heat.
Mm.
So I had someone come out and said 2 problems. One thing was malfunctioning. And another say, well, you have this component that's bad. It's gonna be about 1,000 to
Yeah.
fix it, okay? But the inspector with my realtor there, they turned it on, so the power switch was on. But one of the guys that came out, this is where I'm questioning, because
So
when I had someone
your
come.
inspector is not a pool inspection.
Right,
You have to have a pool inspector.
well, relying on my real estate agent,
Yeah.
that's why I'm bringing it up.
So that's a great caveat because again, when a property has a pool, you want to hire a pool inspector as well. Because they will tell you, they will check the temperature differential coming out of vents in the pool.
Yeah, cause I
To
simply
think
had
that
a
it's actually heating.
pool cleaning guy who
Yeah.
I was getting a quote on. When I asked him and I told him what was going on, he goes, "Oh, no," he goes, they have to actually do this and then see that the water's getting warmer.
Yes.
And
It's
then
like the air
takes,
conditioner, they have to test it.
yeah, and then it takes a few
Dryer.
minutes,
They take-
5,
they
10
let it
minutes.
freeze, then they have an infrared.
He's coming over and say, "Yeah, it's working," because the power goes on. It's like,
Again, but that's what a home inspector would do.
right,
but
I
not a
understand,
pool
I
inspector.
understand that.
But not a pool inspector. So again, stay in your lane. Home inspector is for the home, pool inspection is for the pool, you know, I mean,
So you need to call a pool inspector to come.
absolutely.
If
If
you have a
everybody
pool.
has a pool, yes, you call a pool inspector.
And you need a good trained real estate agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why all of you are sitting in this class today to learn all the things.
So the buyer will pay for the pool inspection, the termite, the.
They'll pay for
Well, I'm not
Yeah.
paying for it,
Yeah.
it's not my home.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
the buyer pays
Buyer
for
pays.
every one of those. Just like they pay for their appraisal, just like they pay for, you know.
Right.
I did a inspection yesterday, actually, and I didn't get the 4-point. I asked him why I would need the 4-point, and he said, you know, some insurance companies require it, but all the information that's in the 4-point is in the larger one as well. But now I'm kind of kicking myself because in the event that the insurance company needs it,
You need to get another
yeah,
inspection.
that kind of sucks. I mean, why, like, even
And
still.
I'll tell you now, the insurance company's gonna wanna win it.
Well,
Yeah.
everyone-
No, I did get that one. I did get that. I
Okay.
did get that one. So I'm hoping that they,
What's the 4-point?
because why would you ever pay more? It's strictly for the insurance company. Why can't they go through the larger one and pick out the information they have? They want to.
Because you don't want to share the larger ones, silly, with your insurance company.
No, you never share his insurance.
Come on.
Okay, so I
Yeah,
guess.
he'll never get a loan, he'll never get a
So
loan.
they are gonna
Well, it's not
get,
even the loan, it's the insurance company now knows all of your defaults on your property,
yeah, but I figured they would want that to know that.
Never,
so they can get more money.
ruin your life.
Yeah,
You'll be
Okay.
bankrupt if they get it.
no, you want to give an insurance company. Go, yeah, you're good. You wanna go and give only the pertinent information. It's like when you're the listing agent, you don't want that whole inspection report. You don't want, you want the information of the 4 or 5
Do
things.
people put their inspection, so back in Wisconsin, if we're selling in a seller's market, a lot of times if we had an inspection in the last 6 months or a more recent one, we put it on the MLS. So therefore they were already disclosed. all the
Absolutely,
defects.
that's exactly right.
So I don't have to fight them
Nope,
because
because it's already been
Okay,
disclosed.
so that's same here. That is so brilliant for
Already
people.
disclosed.
Yeah.
It's called a pre-sale inspection.
Okay, please don't inspection.
It's called a pre-sale inspection, and that gives your sellers the opportunity to know what's gonna possibly come up that they're going to have to repair.
Okay, so then what, this is called what again, we're on?
The
The,
4-point,
this is the 4-point.
this is the 4-point windmill.
And, oh, they're together in the
Yeah.
same, and with.
Yeah, and wind.
Oh, mine was separate.
Yeah.
Mine-
Yeah, but this one I paid for
Oh,
you to do
okay.
all of
I
it.
see what you mean.
That's
What is
the deal.
4.4? What are the 4 points?
Yeah.
It's your HVAC, your electrical, your
Plumbing.
plumbing, and your roof.
Oh, that's for the 4 point. Okay, got it.
Yeah, that's your 4-point.
Okay, so
And
all
as
the,
you go through and read this, you'll see all of these.
So you also do
We're
a.
running out of time, we've got about 10 minutes left, so
So you
then we're
also-
gonna go over a summary report. What?
Summary.
Go ahead.
So this is the report for the 4-point, this is the full report.
That's the 4-point, now for the 4-point, that is the 4-point for this summary. So that's the full 62-page report, this is a summary of that 62-page report. Okay?
Why would I miss that?
So this will tell you, the summary report includes the structural and mechanical items that are not performing their intended function and are a safety concern and or features in the home considered inconsistent with common findings in home of similar age and type. These items are not necessarily required to be repaired or replaced according to your contract of sale. We advise our clients to discuss any items related to their contract with their real estate agent or attorney. The summary report does not include comments that refer to normal wear or minor defects commonly found in homes of similar age and type, nor does it include comments about routine maintenance of the systems in the home. Minor items will be noted. These are items that can be easily repaired or that individually represent a minor repair cost. These minor comments or minor items should not affect the sale of the property individually and as such may not be included in the summary report. Collectively, these items may present a burden. Items noted in bold black print may pose a possible safety hazard, represent a substantial cost to repair or replace, or may cause additional damage to the structure if not properly addressed. Please read the report in its entirety and contact the inspector with any questions or concern. The summary report does not constitute our entire report and may not include all the items that a client may consider important to home ownership. Therefore, the client is advised to read the inspector's report in its entirety. Please read the report in its entirety and contact the inspector with any questions or concern. This is the inspector, Jack, and that's his direct cell phone number. So here's the first page, right off the bat. What did I tell you when I looked over the perimeter of the property? What did I notate in my notes prior to ever making an offer? Chipped, missing stucco notated at the left side of the home, suggesting patching and properly grading sloping away from the home. Boom. There's $1,800 to $2,500 of my check mark that has a possibility of costing my clients money because there's painting, trimming. Is it necessarily a structural integrity thing?
No.
No. Is it important to my client?
Yes.
Yes. When it's important to my client, guess what we do? It's important to us. Okay. So that's the first page. Boom. Gutters and downspouts. Review. Missing splash block noted at the gutter downspout at right corner rear of home. Review sprinkler system. Review possible irrigation leak noted at yard on right side of home. Suggest review by a qualified landscape irrigation company. Gutters and downspouts. That's a $4 piece. Do I give two shits about that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now the irrigation. This property is actually maintained exteriorly by an HOA. All of the sprinklers, all of the sprinkler heads, all of that is maintained. All the landscaping, exterior mowing is all maintained by the HOA. What did I do with this section? Notate to take it up with the HOA.
Well, how do you say that? Where do you note that?
Well, it's property specific.
Okay, but you would just tell it to your buyer then?
Yeah.
Like they would have to then.
Yeah, because I know that. I know that because I've already pulled the docs offline, or I've had conversations with this listing agent prior to going under contract. Yeah.
Okay, but something like that, you know, mine was similar to a condo.
Yeah.
We had the seller because there's a form that the seller needed to
fill out.
fill out and submit to
Absolutely.
the HOA, COA.
Absolutely.
So that it is on the docket.
Yep.
And when we closed, they had addressed one of the issues related to a soffit, but now there was a roof issue, but it's on the docket.
It's on the docket.
And it's ready to be addressed. Yeah.
And the seller has to
And
put
that
it on
could be-
HOA?
It can be done prior, or it can be done post closing
By the buyer.
by the buyer.
Oh,
It can be done either time, but obviously sooner the better, right? So you want to say to the seller, hey, you know, this part of the yard's dead because the sprinkler heads are broken and not working,
And
and
they have the relationship already established
Yes,
with the HOA president.
and with the mowing company.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that they can put that on there, that, you know, that they've broken some sprinkler heads, they need to replace those on their next go round. Review, torn screen notated at left side of enclosure. This is the one I was talking about, but guess what I did? I told him my guys wanted to have it repaired. Guess who repaired it? The sellers. I asked. All they can do is tell you no.
That's right. That's
All they can do is tell you no.
no.
They can always say no. Lanai light not functional, possible bad bulb.
Change the bulb.
Change the bulb. But guess what? It's a part of my electrical, which all had to be replaced. So was it a bad bulb? No, it was actually a bad fixture. It was a bad fixture. So we got 2 new front fixtures because I asked. Okay, because I asked. Review, broken and cracked tiles noted on the right side of the
But I
roof.
thought this is a new roof.
This is prior. Remember I told you, this is our inspection. That
That's
for
all they
point
need, they
is
needed a roof.
post roof. I already knew it needed a new roof. I had already negotiated a new roof. So this didn't matter anymore because I had negotiated in my offer that a new roof was going to be installed prior to settlement. And I had that all laid out. Okay, they had already been under contract twice. And again, this comes from talking to the listing agent and saying, we've already been under contract twice. We couldn't get the loans to go through and the insurance to go through because it needed a new roof. My clients were willing to pay for half, the buyers were willing to pay for half. We're not willing to pay for shit. So, new roof. Bottom line, we'll settle once it's a new roof. We don't have to worry about a loan because we're a cash buyer. Okay, so again, these roof ones for this doesn't matter because again, new roof is coming, but this is part of the inspection that's required. Obviously, you want your inspector to notate all of this, right? So here's where attic, evidence of leaking. Obviously, new roof. So this has all been fixed. We got all new wood, all new everything. It was not just a roof over, it was, they took it all the way down to the framing.
That's what I've heard is they typically always take it down to the frame when they do a new roof to make it up to code.
Correct. Okay. They took it all the way down to the framing, so this part didn't matter either because I had already worked through this. Plumbing, water heater. What did I tell you when I noticed? What's not on here? There's no clean outs on here. You see that? Review, suggest adding a clean out valve for tankless water heater. Guess what that now becomes? A mandatory because it's in Naples. Okay, so it becomes a mandatory, but guess what I have my clients do? Take $1,000 off the price of the house, off of our offer, so.
For
there's
the water
evidence.
heater?
But for the cleanouts, it's $800 to have those cleanouts put on. You know how I know that? Cause I just had it done on my own house. Cause when I had my addition done, they did not put them on. I was starting to have that, it had been about 18 months and I wasn't getting consistent hot water with my Insta-Hot. So I called a plumber and he said it's $800. So I called my clients and said, oh, I just had to do this myself. I discovered this, blah, blah, blah. It should have been done when I committed.
If I don't wanna do it, you just deduct it off the selling price.
Yeah, that's what I do.
You can ask for credit.
You can ask for a credit if you discover this after the fact, if you don't have savvy, knowledge of these things, you can ask for it, as a credit. You can do all kinds of things. There's so many different ways for negotiation throughout the entire contract. So, I was sitting during the home inspection and the kitchen lights were flickering because guess who's sitting there and working on her laptop on her hotspot while the inspection's going on and telling the inspector, just get me if you need me. Well, guess what starts flashing? Kitchen lights. So, review, recessed kitchen lights were periodically flickering during inspection period. The inspector didn't notice it, I did, because guess who's sitting there? In that space with every light on while he's messing in the breakers and doing all the things. And I took a video. So I have his pictures and I took a video on my phone and I sent that video over to the listing agent.
By the way, I'm selling that house. Wouldn't I have to disclose if I seen that? It's hard to think that didn't happen. Wouldn't I have to, as a seller, wouldn't I have to disclose that?
No, because it could just be you think
Could be a light bulb.
you could just think it's a light bulb flickering.
Yeah.
Or
Sometimes if you
whatever.
walk on a second floor, it'll flicker the first floor.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's like when you
part-
plug in
part-
it's like when you plug in a vacuum cleaner
Yeah.
and the lights automatically dim, but then they go back up to normal, right?
One of the points, it's hard to believe it don't happen that time. That's the first time it happened.
Oh, yeah, but the house has been naked too, so
They may not know.
they might not have known. They may not ever turn that kitchen light on because it's such a bright windowed area. The only reason why I had all the lights on was for the inspector. Again, who knows? Who knows? So pantry closet light isn't functional, possible bad bulb. They wound up putting a new light fixture in there because the light fixture was bad. Again, this house had some things. This was the swollen baseboard noted at the hallway closet, which we noticed.
What do you mean swollen?
It means it
Wet.
was it had been water damage and it was swollen from, cause it's press wood. Baseboard trims are only press wood. They are not solid wood.
Yeah. They'll
So
scan.
when they get wet, they swell
Dog.
and they get wavy. And you can see here, it's wavy, and you can see here it's wavy. So my client and I were actually when we were going through the showing, knowing that we were possibly making an offer on this home, guess who got down on her hands and knees and sniffed that baseboard? You wanna know why I did that? I wanted to smell mold.
That was great.
Just send me,
So she didn't wanna run
Huh?
from it?
just send me in there, cause I pass out, I have, low toxicity, yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you want to find mold?
I don't wanna find mold, but if I have the buyer, I wanna find mold if there's something behind us. That's swollen baseboards, water intrusion. What comes with water?
Why there? How did they have what plumbing?
I'll tell you, it wasn't plumbing. It was a sprinkler head on the outside of the property that had been hitting the stucco repetitiously, that it had invaded underneath of the stucco and gone through the membrane and into, because you're on a slab.
Yeah.
So it
And
only
the
stuck up.
stairwell's over there, the hallway.
Yes. It's at the front door of the house, so there's that little,
Yeah,
little
stoop.
part of landscaping at the stoop, and there's a little head. So ask me what we did. We capped off that irrigation sprinkler. We did that on the outside. We fixed the water intrusion on the outside with the sellers.
Yeah.
Fixed the water intrusion on the outside. They took out the wall inside that closet, all those baseboards off until there was no more water damage up, which was about 2.5 feet high. Okay, no mold, but it was just, and you could tell it had previously been wet. Took that all the way off, all the way down. Then they mold sealed it with biprofessional. Then they put the insulation back, put the drywall back, hung up all the racks again, put all the trim back, put the doors back, and it looked like brand new. But had I not been paying attention and I had just been, oh, I'm showing a house, la-di-da-di-da. And I didn't notice, because guess who's looking at baseboards? Guess who's looking at ceilings? Looking for spots. Water spot, water spot, water spot.
Even if walking on that baseboard was, you can see that.
Correct. And these are black and white pictures, the color pictures are even better. So this was something that, because it's in Naples, is a mandatory repair item. But I took it off in the purchase price. And I said, I know there's water intrusion that's coming through here, I know this, that, and the other. So it goes with, again, being savvy.
How'd you negotiate the cost? Would you discuss it?
I just asked me, I took 10 grand.
Nice.
When I put in the offer, again, I got $35,000 off the price of the house. So, and I don't work in neighbor a lot, but I have enough knowledge down there to know to be dangerous. You know, to be dangerous, because I've bought and sold a couple properties of my own down there. So, and then here you go again, one light is not functional, possible bad bulb. This one was a bad, nope, the actual can light. The can was bad, so the can, they make them now that when they go bad, it's not a bulb. The whole can, and the can just plugs into the wiring. So you unplug it, you pull it down, you buy a new one, you put it back up, you plug it in, you put it back up.
They're so cheap.
They're so cheap.
Like
Yeah,
15
exactly.
bucks at Home Depot.
Yeah.
$10.
Again, this comes from the next one for the trap strain supply. I have a really good inspector. He filled the sink all the way up, emptied the sink out, leak noted at the top of the drain pipe underneath the right side of the sink. Suggest review and repair by qualified plumber. Boom, got that replaced, repaired. Loose handle noted at the closet door. Closet door is off track. Is that a must fix? No. My client will fix that. We knew it when we opened it because the door swung wide open. You know, that's a handyman, that's part of home ownership. You have to do little things, a little elbow grease in home ownership. So you have to educate them, this is a handyman thing, this is a home ownership thing, you know. This was the swollen baseboard noted at the front guest bedroom. This is all that same section inside that closet. He's just now moved on to the guest bedroom space, okay? So then the term review, when stated in this report, is defined as having a licensed professional review possible causes of a given defect and remedy both cause and effect. For example, wood decay in a section of baseboard may be notated in a report. Patching the baseboard is an incomplete remedy. Review should be made of the cause of the decay and repaired to both cause and effect is required. Water damage typically requires removal of finishes to determine extent of the damages. Water damage may be accompanied by mold growth and possible termite activity, which are the two things that we were just talking about with why you want to make sure that they remove and remediate. Okay, it needs to be remediated. It is not the responsibility of the inspector to determine cause or remedy, as the inspector is limited to a visual inspection of such area and cannot remove or alter the home in any way to explore possible causes. It is also suggested that a complete review of all like areas in the home be examined for similar issues, as not all areas of concern may be visible at the time of inspection. General suggests confirming condition of the home at final walkthrough prior to closing, and suggests that the buyer obtain a home warranty to cover items that may fail after inspection. My clients did all of the above. Now, my clients for this property are in Kentucky. They are out-of-state buyers. So guess who drove her happy little tushy down to Naples on Friday and took every single receipt from every single repair and inspected that every single repair had been completed prior to them signing on the dotted line tomorrow. I gave my John Hancock stating, I have reviewed all of this. I FaceTimed my clients and I said, here's this, where this has been repaired. This looks beautiful. Is this up to your standard? I'm standing here. You're looking at it through a phone screen, but I'm standing here. If you want me to get closer, you want me to get far away. So I took about 30 minutes in that home and went through every single receipt and notated, here's your clean out valves. Here's this. Then I sent them pictures just as a secondary CYA that all of these things have been completed. And then I gave them the A-OK to wire their funds for settlement tomorrow. So this is your synopsis, but that 62 page is the full report.
So these are defects or your summary report.
This is the summary.
This
These
is
are the must repair types.
This is a must repair, the detail.
Yes, If anybody wants a copy, they can make a copy of this, you can take these copies with you, whatever, I have 3 copies in total. Anybody can have my copies that are sitting up here too,
Okay.
so.
And sorry, what is the MIT? What is MIT? In the 4-point MIT?
Wind.
Well, what does it do? What are they testing?
They're testing if a hurricane comes through the ports of the hurricane, then it will stand.
How are you testing it though?
They have ways, I don't know, it's all kinds of digital spin things and.
You mean like they actually
They
force
actually
wind?
force wind, yeah. Yeah, I don't know that all the things that they use, but yes, they actually force wind. So. You guys learned something today?
What'd you think?
I said, you guys learned something today? Oh, wait.
Now, I have a question.
Uh-oh,
You said that you represented the buyer and
and this one, yes.
for the receipt, you wanted to take pictures.
Uh-huh.
Would it come back to get you if that same location leaked again?
No, because it's warranted by the people who repaired it. So because you've got your receipts that they
You
repaired
don't
it.
want the buyer to blame, oh, you
They
told me
can't
it's
blame
fixed,
you.
no,
Yeah,
no, it's-
they can't blame you. There's the receipts by a licensed professional. It's not like the seller did it.
Okay.
No, I forwarded every receipt for
So
every
you
repair.
found these repair people.
No, the seller did.
Yeah, but then it is done by the seller.
The seller chose.
The seller chose the professional.
But
But
everything
they are
else,
licensed, bonded professionals.
Okay.
you can't have a do-it-yourself or
No,
insurance.
the seller didn't rip off those baseboards and drywall and say, oh, yeah, ew, it's all done, it's fixed. No. No, they have licensed professionals come in and do all of the removal, the remediation that needed to be done, put everything back just like it was, hang the rags back up, it had to be painted, and they look like new.
So do you then, if we go through this and we say, hey, there's $30,000, okay, so we have offer price of 500, we go through this and we're like, we need to either price reduce or seller credit of $10,000, we'll say. Do you then?
I never ask the price reduce.
I was gonna say,
You know why you do a price reduce?
I don't want to ever, because it reduces your commission.
Absolutely. Take money out of your own pocket.
Always, but.
So you're asking for seller help.
Always seller credit.
All right, seller credit, that will pay for your closing costs. It will, the only thing seller credit will not do is pay for your down payment.
Yeah.
But if you can buy down your points with it, you can do whatever the hell you want with it.
Yeah.
You know, it will,
Less
it will
cash
frees up your money that you have to bring to the table.
Yeah.
So that you can now make these repairs out of pocket.
But then what documents are we doing contractually after we know, like, either needs to be a seller, let's just say there's a seller.
You're doing a seller credit addendum.
Okay, that, I don't know, I've never done a document
Yeah.
for that, so you do the seller.
Yeah, you do a seller credit, yeah, seller credit addendum.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then you send that to title and you send that to the lender, so that they make sure that they use every dollar of that seller credit addendum.
Prices of inspectors range.
Yes, it does.
From, I had a $925 quote. All the way down to the $425 that my buyer. So, so, you know, I used the vendors that came to our meetings and promoted themselves as inspectors. And I just went through that list in addition to one that was given to me. And,
What do you charge for X, Y, Z?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna use you because, and why do you charge that? What kind of report do you give? Do you have a red light, yellow light, green light system? My inspector in Maryland has a red light, yellow light, green light system. So I know if it's red, it is a stop, it means it has to be repaired because it is a danger to self or structure.
That's what we had in Connecticut.
But does Florida, like in Wisconsin, we had a state statute law that said this is what a defect is, so if it affected the health and safety.
Correct.
Et cetera.
They do that,
I
but
kinda noticed that how he wrote
yes,
that out.
He does that, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm saying there's an actual red light, yellow light, green light system in Maryland that does the same thing. But it's an easy way for non-educated buyer to read a report.
Yeah.
And determine, is
These are the
this something that versus talking to your agent and say, well, I wanna get this outlet cover tightened. I'll bring my screwdriver.
Yeah.
You know, and it comes back to the agent of educating them what these items are. These are all stop, these are. Could be something that's wrong in the future, which is your yellow light and green socket.
Yeah.
You know, so that a yellow light would be example of that HVAC. It is currently working perfectly, but it estimating a 3 to 4, it's aging.
Yeah.
Like all of us, it's aging. Could we pop a hit tomorrow? Yes.
So then if you have a FHA buyer, they have to have their own separate inspection
They
done.
not. The appraiser will inspect the
And
property.
that's the appraisal inspector, yeah.
It is
okay.
not a separate inspection,
It's an
and
appraisal.
it is up to the appraiser whether or not they call if it's something that's a repair requirement.
It's separate
And-
from this.
Yes,
And
it's
it's supposed to be
definitely,
done-
and that document states on there.
Yeah.
If an FHA blah blah blah, they are on the hook for $1,000 in repairs.
Or
Or,
they'll state the pricing?
oh, you state the pricing.
Okay.
$500 in repairs, $1,000 in repairs. You will walk up on a property and you see that it's missing a handrail, it's got cracked sidewalks, it's got chipping paint. Ching, 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 ching.
So, what?
You want to negotiate that right off the jump.
I was just gonna tell them that he'll be in soon.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, wrapping up.
Other
Yeah.
than the last question is, everything is referred to as stucco on the side, isn't stucco just concrete? Or stucco is a separate secondary?
Separate.
It's so like in our new construction, they don't spray stucco on the outside of our concrete block, they spray some concrete form. That's why I'm so confused, what is stucco? It's, that
The
is,
block and then this is like, it is, they
It's
spray
spraying.
it, they can.
that's all
put it
considered
on-
stucco?
Yeah, it's
Cause
just
it's
like,
on a metal backing, a metal sealant backing.
No,
or it's on the block.
and it's on the block,
Yeah, think of it as icing on a cake.
yeah,
Yeah,
but that's still called stucco?
The stucco is just the icing.
it's the icing.
But that
Stucco's
form
icing.
going on the block is stucco. So what, so isn't, I thought stucco was made of a different, like, different material.
No.
It's all different concrete.
Yeah, it's just a concrete.
Cracks, that's when the water comes in. So
Yes.
that's why you want to make sure that.
And you wanna make sure that
Yeah.
if there are cracks in stucco, that it is smaller than a dime. If you can slide a dime in there, then it is considered water intrusion.
Oh, dime, okay,
Keep
that's,
a dime with you.
oh gosh, a dime is nothing.
Exactly, keep a dime with you.
Yeah.
They croak quick, especially if that's starts to sell.
Yeah,
Yeah, good.
okay, thank you.
I love it stuff. Bring it
You too.
right now. Make a call. That's why I was catch up with you too. Yeah. Okay, let me know today.
What is Brad's class on?
I don't know.
Two touch. Yeah, I don't even know the third touch space.
I don't know,
I've got my most recent,
Okay.
I had to go through it because we just
You
got.
can put them in my desk. If somebody needs them to refer back to for something.
So here, I'm looking to, why is there two listing points? Why is?
Yeah, no, you always wanna use the as is.
Well, that's the only one we ever used in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't understand what this other one was.
Okay, alright.
Brad's always running late. Brad's always late.
Oh, well, you get Rick in there, huh?
No, every time I see Brad, he's got a baby, he's talking.
Oh, man, you know it. It's
I'm
the,
like, I need Brad's job.
it's nice. Ooh, nice seeing you. Nice to see you. Oh, wait, we gotta do that again, that's back, on my end, there we go. Wait 1 second, let me go back to.
We're good.
Ooh.
It's probably only gonna be the new agents in here.
They're
For
the
this
only
class.
new one, yep. I like this one.
Yeah, this is, I'm finally ready, I think, for this is the thing. I finally got my health on the, your contact board. You know, when you go on your KW,
Yeah,
and it says your health,
yeah.
well, I finally got mine higher than the
The red.
than the group, than everybody combined. By 0.2%, I'm like, whoo.
I'm still working on it.
Well, I'll be working on it. I
gotta pee and then I'll be like.
I've been working on it for a while. I'm just doing that 66 days really helped me figure out. How to start putting it all together.
So you never done real estate before?
I did in Las Vegas back in 2003 to 2006. 4 years, 4 years was an ABR. Was with a few different companies, trained under someone. Didn't have training like this, but we were during the. I mean, we had things. I took someone out to show a property, and it would be like, "Look, we have to make an offer today. We have to go full list, if not more." I mean, there was multiple offerings. It was a freaking zoo. I was a dual agent in a deal. I had I represented both buyer and seller in a deal that went sideways. I mean, I had so many things that happened that then the bubble burst there. Everything was going foreclosure and short sale, and I was like, And I got out and went back. I had hurt my back and was out of practice for a year. And in recovering, I did real estate. And then once my back was better, I felt strong again. And the bubble burst and the market went upside down in Vegas.
And you feel the market here is going down.
We've hit the bubble. I'm pretty much sure.
It's going down.
It's going down. This is why I was contemplating the last few days. Where's my niche at? You know, I don't know anybody here. All my people are from the West.
Yeah.
It's not like they need to come out here.
Because if you go to MLS, you look, all the prices, like Rebecca said, 500 and below, there's so many.
Yeah.
And then there's not much between 500 and a million. But there's so many, a million and above again. But then you're looking at, well,
that's just showing you the kind of
kind of market you're in. But
and
then,
the demographics.
But I'm also looking at it, if there's so many showing between 500,000 and below, that just tells you
it's affordability.
Yes, affordability
is the biggest problem. What I've read and seen, the interest rates aren't the factor.
No.
It's the affordability.
But then a few other agents from another company told me the luxury market, which is a million and above, is still going strong.
Well, yeah, and that's what another thing is.
I don't get it.
But same thing in Las Vegas. Okay, we deal with the same thing in Vegas. It's like, how does a luxury market survive in Las Vegas with the median income is here? Well, because you got California right next to us with their income and they're just moving and buying up stuff in Vegas.
Texas too.
Same thing. Well, here in Florida, what is it? You got people from New York, New Jersey, Michigan, Ohio, and they have the money. Problem is your people that live, and I talked to some locals.
Yeah.
And they're frustrated. They can't afford to leave in this state.
Locals are all out.
And that's what I'm thinking. How can we be of assistance in keeping locals here?
Well,
Well, I know we say good luck, or let's just all go do luxury. And I'm actually thinking, it was my barber. I listened to my barber, and he goes, "My family's been here for 100 years, and it's sad because they can't afford to live here anymore." And
it's
people
very
are leaving.
expensive.
And it just hit me. It hit me in my heart, and I was like, "That's we got all us people moving here to this state, and we're not doing anything to keep the people here. We're just trying to get more people to move here." So, I think that it's
Is there a lot of foreclosure?
Well, I think that's what I'm saying.
Not too many.
But I think there could be some coming.
Everybody keeps saying that it's coming and I'm like, I don't know.
Well,
Take a
because
long
again, like in Las Vegas, when it hit, the reason there were so many, because a lot of people were investors. Okay. And these
That's exactly
investors
the best thing.
just said, okay, this market's going, we're getting out, this short sell it, it's cheaper, take our losses, get out now. Okay.
People are
here
doing
still-
that.
But people here have money.
People are, you'd be surprised.
No,
People
I-
are losing money on their investments right now.
I'll tell you just one example. When I was in Las Vegas, at the height where the market, we knew it was gonna eventually have to turn. A guy, one of our client, says, "I just bought a Pulte home, brand new, okay, and I wanna turn it." This is where they were phased by it, right? Okay, unfortunately, the bubble had burst like a month, 2 weeks after this. Pulte, where his home was, that development, that week, Pulte dropped the prices of their new homes by 100,000. He just lost 100,000 in equity, and there's not a damn thing I could do. You're gonna lose.
It's sad.
Yeah, so here, what I've seen is it's a lot softer than when
But
a lot more people with money can come here and buy.
But it's getting stronger and
But it's
stronger.
getting,
It's going faster.
it just depends on if you have a bunch of people that bought during the rush here, 2021, 22, right? The house we bought here, the guy sold it for less than he bought it for.
Yeah.
Even though we bought it for too much, we bought it coming down. So he didn't have much room to work with on the house.
All right. Welcome in. So first thing first, we're gonna go over 72 touch program. I did this last month and it went haywire. It was just god awful.
I didn't hear teach.
It's your fault, No, it's all right. It was so crazy. It was John's little first day here. I was like, this is wrong. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna break it down into the beginning and over time, we're gonna get to the good juicy areas. Not saying today won't be good and juicy, but we're gonna go over the adding somebody to your database, how to tag them appropriately, what you know, why you're doing it. We're gonna get to the why of the reason, and then we're gonna build off of that. So some people you'll hear, so like Brian, he says 32 touch program, 33 touch. It's the same thing. When they refer to 32 touch, 72 touch program, it's the same thing, just more touches. In the beginning, real estate used to be that before there was social media, before you get in with people, relatively quickly and easy. So now it's 72 touches. 72 touches at 201 plus people in your database, your return's $115,000. That's your return on your database. Now there's geniuses out there who came up with that number. I didn't pull that out of my head. It's a proven number. But so that's why when we say, hey, we want to get your database to 201 plus people, that's why, because we want that return to be $115,000. Now you have 400 and 2 plus people, you're going to double that. So if you're there, awesome, keep growing. If you're not there, that's fine. We're going to keep helping you grow. People, if anybody wants to share, where are you getting, your database additions from? Are you pulling them? So besides your sphere, so the people how have you been getting new people to add to your database?
Oh, my doctors, my dentists, the vets. To go get my fingerprints done. I got the guy that owns the shop. I got him in my contact list.
Good. Nice.
So
not a felon. Just kidding. Even if you are, hey, no judgment. Just kidding.
Open house, couple of leads from open house.
Okay. Very cool. Nice.
People I work with in the other part-time job.
Yeah, hey, that's all right. That's good. Anybody else? Where are you guys getting kind of your leads?
From the roster.
Okay. Okay, nice. And how's that? How are you doing that?
I'm just, creating other agents, just downloading them into my database for referral basis.
Awesome. So you're doing that. That's good. Yeah. That's the way to do it. And you have your bio all updated with the proper information. Like pick me. Perfect. I love that. And then I know golfer in here.
Yeah, my husband, he's a golf networker. Every time he goes out, he gives my cards away.
Oh
He
yeah.
asks people for me. It's phenomenal.
Oh,
A few of our people that I met are all through the golf course, so I'm trying to go and just hit balls there every week and try and connect to somebody.
Oops, I dropped my business card.
Right?
We just live in by Saranoa. It's off Clark and 75.
Okay. So
Small course.
what I have up here,
We're not hoity-toity.
I'm not gonna make y'all watch this 58-minute video. But I want you guys to go into command, go into connect, type in 72 touch. Take your touch campaigns to the next level. Just go ahead and watch that.
What is it under? Just.
Yeah, if you go to connect and then type in 72 touch, it'll be the first one.
Go to connect.
Yeah,
And 72 touch is not a smart plan.
smart plans are included.
So you see connect
Yep.
up there, there's command, so you're in connect.
So a smart plan is part of the touches. Yep, smart plan is part of a text touch if you want to do text through it, email touch, and then task. So pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to.
You're fine.
But I know it's been mentioned several times. Twilio is that something that's part of it? I know we talked about
out.
the text.
Yeah, so if you have Twilio, that's part of your smart plan, part of the 72 touch. If you don't have Twilio, like I never downloaded it. I'll do the extra work of making a task and then just texting it myself.
Okay.
And a lot of the time, I usually don't even really, I'll send a text, but I'll do a video text instead. That way I can kind of, see, get in front of my face instead of just my text. Yeah. Computer that. Yeah.
And emails, the MailChimp.
Yeah, so you can do MailChimp through here as well.
Yeah.
This smart plan is part of your command email, so it will send emails out without MailChimp.
Oh, okay, that's what I want.
Yeah, but it will send up to 5,000 and then you have to pay.
Okay, so we can do that, but if we wanted to do something else outside of command, you need the MailChimp.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you can do that.
So for instance, like Trilio, like I have like over 1,200 texts available because I've never set up smart plan
Yeah.
text available because I've never set them up and they all roll over. So eventually,
I just
maybe
did that
it's
for
free.
Memorial Day.
Yeah, it's $3.60.
Good
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's, you start out, you get 300 messages for $3 and something a month.
Just
Oh.
$3.16 a month.
Yeah, and you get 300.
You don't have to create your own messages, you could just use their stock. Love that.
No, you still
Well,
create
no.
a message, it sends you a
Yeah.
database.
Yeah.
It just.
It's
Spend
ChatGPT. It's
Exactly.
the easiest thing.
I want something quicker than that.
You're risking our.
So Brad,
Yeah.
was I asking you about the holiday touch points or
I
something?
think so.
Okay, so I found a plan.
Oh yeah,
but-
we went over together, we found that.
Yeah, but then when I was going into Memorial Day, I couldn't start the plan because if I started the plan, I'd start it for New Year's. So how do you offset a plan to start, however many days in we are for this year for Memorial Day instead of January 1st? Happy New Year.
So when you go to that plan, you should be able just to drag it down and then replace it. So like for say Memorial Day, yeah, so when you're in a smart plan, there'll be like 6 little dots on the left-hand side, I believe. You click that and you can just drag it down. So, or if you say 4th of July is coming up, you would put 4th of July, which you have to scroll down till you see 4th of July and then drag it up there. So just like moving them, you can move them back and forth.
Oh, so you have to basically move all the new.
You'd have to move it around.
You have to move all the stuff around.
Yep. Yeah, move all the stuff around and then choose the redo the time, the days it gets sent out. You have to calculate how many days it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
otherwise I have to wait till January 1 to.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, you move it around.
That's one of the things that, there are a little few pains, like he was saying, the stuff that, doesn't.
But once you get it down, like it's yours and
Yeah.
Yeah, but then every person I add on in the future, I have to redrag it and redo it for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is some work.
I don't.
Yeah.
There is some work.
Command.
Yeah, think about let me look into that. You might
Yeah,
have
this
to
should not be this difficult. Like I should be able to say day 63 and then it goes out for day 63, which is whatever this springtime text is.
You're doing this in command, right? In
Yeah.
the smart plan, don't they allow you to like select all or select a multiple, like?
Yeah, but she's saying when she adds somebody 6 months down the road, she doesn't want to add them to that smart plan and then have it say have Memorial Day when it's Easter.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
watching the,
Yeah, because it only says I'm testing it right now myself. If I start it now, which is, or I could start it tomorrow,
Mhm.
and then if I do it, I'm going to probably receive the Happy New Year text in just a minute.
Yeah, and Happy New Year. I mean, it's New Year somewhere, right? So watch this video. It's good. It's 58 minutes. Smart people talking about things. I would just recommend it. But these are different stuff. So one video I do want to just quickly watch here.
It did. It just sent me Happy New Year's.
check out that Miller 66 days. He might have something that explains that.
We use education as a way to keep in touch with our database, to touch our database, to bring value to our database, to attract them to an event that they want to learn about what to do with their homes. We talk about how do you do a 1031 exchange. We talk about senior relocation services. We talk about trust and what happens when you're a trustee. All of these classes are designed to bring people into our world that are already in our database, bring them to a seminar so that they learn something and then they realize, hey, I do want to sell my home. This is what's really garnering all of our opportunities. Our focus is getting the appointment and getting an agreement. And that focus is narrowed down to education. in a way that most aren't doing around the country. These are relatively new concepts for most people. When we talk about cost basis and capital gains tax and depreciation and all these tools and ways to leverage and build wealth through real estate. And this is what's attracting the wealthy older adult. We really want to maximize our engagement with the client because it's not so much how many people you get in front of, it matters how many appointments you get. What we know over doing over 1,200 of these seminars over my career, that we realize that the bigger is not always better because you're going to start losing the engagement. And so we focus on 25 to 30 people in every seminar. We're going to get 20% conversion ratio from the number of groups that show up to the number of appointments that we get.
Is he a CFP? He's throwing that stuff around. He must bring in some heavy hitters where he is himself.
I think so. I don't know who that guy is. I just like the video.
I like it. Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, the one reason I wanted to show that video is because we talked about buyer and seller seminars a couple weeks ago. But I also wanted to share that that can be a touch point for your database. So you can invite them. So say you added somebody, from golf, from chiropractor, from wherever, and you're like, do you know the process of buying a home? No. Let me invite you to here. And you can send that, you can put that in an email, and they see you're holding one once a quarter and you're sending them information about it. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, she's the agent of choice, she's getting me, she's gonna help me list my home, all that stuff. So that's what I wanted to share there. And then I wanted to share this.
60.
Yeah, so this person, he does a 60 touch program. And so, you can make it whatever you want. 72 touch is what we teach, what I've been told, works the best. That's technically 6 times you're in front of somebody a month, be an overachiever and do 7. But this allows you to capitalize on building trust. The more they see you, the more they're going to trust you. The more they talk to you, the more they respond to text, emails, they're going to trust you. You want to gain mind share as well. That's the biggest thing right now, is y'all want to gain mind share. Those smart plans are to gain mind share, to be top of mind with somebody like, oh shoot, I gotta sell my house, let me call Aaron. Or oh, I gotta buy a house, let me call John. So yes, so you want to do that. And the return on investment, like I said, 201 plus contacts on a 72 touch smart plan is $115,000 income. So what is the secret sauce? So I find that the secret sauce for, at least for when I did this, was consistency and the frequency of how many times I impress myself upon people. So what do you guys think the secret sauce for yourself might be? Would be the same one.
I just think definitely consistency, just keep going, I mean, I think right now it's kind of hard for everybody to stay consistent. Sometimes you get discouraged, but I think consistency is definitely the key on, getting a different outcome.
Yeah, I agree with that. Wait.
To me, it's consistency, but it's news you can use. If you just hit me to hit me, I'm gonna block you.
Yeah.
But if you give me something that's relative and something that I can use, and I'm like, because I love what that guy is doing. Those are all wows, especially for our market here. People that are looking to make financial moves for whatever reason.
Yeah.
That really strikes a note with them.
If when you go on command, go to connect and look up that video. Look up his name and just type it on YouTube. I'm sure you'll find more. Yeah, good. His name was Dan IHARA. So things to consider when creating touches as well is you want to frame your content by answering questions, kind of exactly what Wayne said. You don't want to just send somebody hey, there was a home once that sold for this. Well, what's the reason you're selling that? You're saying this. Okay, well, this home sold because of what I did. Or this home sold because the market is so on fire right now. Spice it up. It might not be on fire, but spice it up. But you want to, so what I challenge you to do as well, write down 20 questions about the market that you as a buyer or seller would have, and then answer them. So write down questions, 20 questions, you can do this now and on your own time, that you as a buyer or seller would have, and then answer those questions. Next time we meet, bring them on back, or, you know, whenever we meet, bring them and show them to me. Again, you wanna make it personable, which obviously, but you also wanna make it local. Real estate's hyper local. You guys aren't selling in Jacksonville. You can, but that's not where your focus is right now. You're not selling in Miami, you're selling in Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota, Bradenton, Siesta Key, Port Charlotte, Northport, up to St. Pete. That's where your focal point is. Again, you can sell anywhere in Florida, you're a Florida real estate agent. But your focal point's here, so make it hyper local. And then put direct call for actions, MOFers. If you don't know what that is, or don't know, you know, how to build, like how to think about a lot of MOFers, I do, and I was like, what the heck does that even mean? ChatGPT, what does that mean? So it's fear of missing out. It's you want to call to action. Blah, 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 call me. Click this button to learn more. Those kind of call to actions. And you want to put those on your social media posts as well. One part of your 72 touch is social media. And part of that is creating, one, you can do ads and target people, which I just learned on Facebook. You can create literally a person that you want to put all your information to. So
Be human.
yeah, right. So if you wanted the average age of the first time home buyer right now is 38 years old. 38-year-old, male or female, 6'5", they, wherever. You can do that on Facebook right now and send that out, and it targets those people. Wildest thing. It's crazy. Scary, but yeah, it targets those people. So for this one's touch point, this 60 touch program, this person did 36 emails. So this is the 72 touch, just a little bit less. 36 emails. They did 4 items of value. So marketing, whatever the text is, so just marketing, a notepad they sent to them. So for this, a calendar with a magnet. One thing I want to tell you, I've been dating my girlfriend for about 7 months. And when I first started talking with her, I went to her place and she had a magnet of a calendar from some other no-name brokerage. I looked at her, I was like, what's this? You cheating on me? Because she had something that but I didn't give her a magnet. Like, I thought that was the coolest idea. I'm like, good, keep that on there so I can always remember to always send magnets. Or whatever. But that's a great one. She's had that for 3 years, she said. It was a calendar of 9 out of 20, like 21. Yeah, but she kept it up there in case she ever needed to use an agent. Now she has me, as you guys, I'm not an agent. But yeah, so that sort of thing. 12 direct mail pieces, postcards, handwritten. Don't type it online. Handwrite it. Now, Canva, and I was with another gentleman named John who's here. He had a property he sold, and then he sent 400 cards of just sold to the surrounding area. It was great. However, I made sure that he left a little blank spot on the card to write something handwritten. Handwritten goes a longer way. They're gonna look at that. If it's just typed up, right? You're gonna handwrite it. It's gonna go a lot longer. Now, 400 pieces, 350 of them are gonna get ripped or thrown away. But at least they see it, and if he consistently does that.
Windows by Anderson, they do that.
Yeah, there we go. And see, their name.
Yeah.
And then newsletters. Newsletters are great. Also, I don't know if you love door knocking, but door knocking is part of the 72 touch program. It's called pop buys. Hey, I just happened to be in the area. It's crazy. I just listed a property over there, so the property, make it up. But I happen to have a CMA, which is competitive market analysis, that I was doing for the neighborhood, free. I just wanted to give it to you. If they answer. If they don't answer, don't leave it on the ground. I don't think that's legal. Or don't get in trouble. You're literally. So that's something you can do. And that's what they do here. What's the number one thing you want to do in a smart plan 72 touch? Anybody know?
Use it.
Yes. That is the all right, that is the number one. All right, let's say number 2.
Be consistent with it.
Close. What's the physical action you want to do?
Email.
Close. Yeah, how are you gonna make the contact?
Call.
There we go. Yep. You want to make a phone call. Phone call is the best thing you can do. You can text, cool. You can email, cool. Phone call, you're gonna talk with that person, they're gonna hear your voice, they're gonna fall in love with you that way. A text is fine too if they don't answer, or if they answer, what I always did, right after the phone call. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. Again, my name is Brad. Here's my information. Please call me if you need anything. And that's if they said yes or no to whatever the heck I was trying to do. All right. Not getting the good stuff. What's the cost of not being top of mind?
A deal.
Exactly. Deal getting business. So doing this 72 touch is going to get you top of mind. I guarantee it. How many of y'all challenge yourself to get 5 to 20 contacts a week? Okay. Yep. Yeah. Right.
Probably, but.
No, that's okay. That's okay. How many contacts a week since you've only been here a month now? How many contacts you
I,
think?
if I'm lucky, get 2 or 3
That's not
at
bad.
least.
Yeah. Good.
How about what I'm doing is working on contacts I have that are missing. And I have just a first name and a phone number. So my goal is to get my database up to everyone, at least 80%, where I have their 4 basic things: phone number, email, address.
I love that. That's perfect. You can definitely focus on that too. And because I see
I'm looking, I updated my database. I'm missing your email. I'm missing your home address.
Well, and what your business is doing right now, like how you want to gear your business, that's more beneficial. So that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah. But it brings me to my next point. Somebody tell me what makes a perfect contact. Real quick.
Their name, their phone number.
Which name?
Huh?
Which
first and last name, full name, their primary phone number.
Yep.
Their primary email.
Okay.
And their mailing address.
Perfect.
According to KW, that's the board.
How many of you guys have spoke with somebody and not had their last name or their email? Okay. What have you guys done to get the somebody's last name? How'd that conversation go? Yeah, you asked them. I do. Hey, I blah 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 blah. How do you spell your last name? And I'm like, yeah, this first name. How do you spell your last name? That's how I do. It's less awkward. But some people are scared to do that and they don't make the call or they don't do it. So just hey man, I forgot your last name. Can you spell it for me? Something like that. How do you get an email? So I was just asking, what does that script sound like?
Well, I'm just doing, I'm updating my database for my career.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be able to have everybody's information so I can send them birthday reminders and.
Nice people if like, hey, are you interested in getting my month, 2 different scripts? I'd be like, hey, are you interested in getting, I send out a monthly newsletter. I just let people know what's going on in the market. Would you be interested in that? Yes or no? Can I get your email? And then the other one I do is, hey, I know you sold or you moved in this neighborhood or wherever, they're my neighbor in Grand Park with me. I was like, do you want a market analysis? I send it once a month, every 2 weeks. You get it once a month or every 2 weeks, and it just lists sold homes. It's no pressure to sell or anything, but it just lists homes. Do you want to see what homes are selling for in our neighborhood?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And then I get their email through the I always tell the market report.
Good.
But then it's a touch base and then they don't feel obligated for me to like push, because they might not want to sell because it just moved.
Yep. Yeah,
What-
exactly.
What do you say now? What do you say to someone? I did all my fraternity brothers. Okay, so we're on there's 18 of us on this group text. So I just said, hey bros, I need your emails to update my list. I didn't go why. I just said, give me your emails because that's how they
You already know them. So that
Right. Yeah. So bunch of emails, and then one of my brothers goes, "Does this mean our email's going to be filled with real estate stuff every month?"
Yeah, that's when I'm like, listen, man, when you want to sell your home, you're gonna end them. Not like that. So so the reason, and you brought up, I want to put in a contact, and this is the start of the 72 touch. I know it's kind of like bare bones here, but some people don't understand it. So what you want to do, obviously add contact. How I got there, the blue guy in a box, clicked on there, add contact. So I'm going to Bob the Builder. Email. Now, how many people have their database on a neighborhood watch?
Watch, you mean the monthly
Uh,
neighborhood market?
yeah.
Yeah.
So with the neighborhood, I thought you only use that if you had a buyer or seller that was looking for that area.
No, put everybody on it.
Yes.
Put it on all your friends.
Yeah,
So
so
what neighborhood do you put?
their address.
You type in their address, or if you just know the general area where they live, you can find their neighborhood just by going on the map. When you
Even if it's not in this state,
No, anywhere.
Yeah, people do it in Colorado, a lot of people do it.
under the neighborhoods area.
Yep.
Yeah, so you want
That's
to do
gonna
that.
improve my health.
Yes, oh. I'm glad you. So, okay, let me take one step back here and I'll go back to Bob the Builder. When you're on here, you're on the main screen, you're gonna scroll down. And you're gonna scroll down halfway through and you're gonna see your database health. You guys are gonna see this health. And you guys are gonna see yours versus the market center. Now I have 4 market centers, so mine's a little skewed. But you're gonna see like what y'all are facing with each other and then yours. So phone number, 100%. If this is not 100%, fix it. Email, I have 99%, I'm missing probably some email. But 65% of my market centers only have that, or don't have that. That's not good. So figure it out. Addresses, that's hard. Get people's addresses, even if they're renting, get people's addresses. In the neighborhoods, not many people know about that, like, yeah, so it's fine, that's okay, not many people do. I don't have that many people on it, so. But this is where you can see your health score, and this part, if you're bored and you have no idea what the heck to do. Go here and fix it, get 100%.
You can get 80% with just the 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
You-
If you just do the full
name, email, phone number, address will get you 80%.
Yeah.
And one of the other 9, but one of the 5 left will get you 100%, like tags.
Exactly. So now this is the neighborhood. Let's do.
I didn't know this.
My neighborhood might not be there. Let's do 32.
So you'd have to do this for each contact then. Wow.
Yeah.
Boy.
All right, we'll just do Philadelphia. So 2 things. 1, if you do this and the neighborhood you're looking for is not highlighted and you cannot figure it out.
The ours is a different name than what it actually is.
Yeah, I don't know if I sent it to you or somebody else. I think it was somebody else. You have to go to a different website, input that neighborhood, and then KW will make this for you. It's confusing and dumb, but they'll do it for you. So if that ever happens, let me know. I'll find the reading that I had, send it to you, and you'll be able to do it. It's silly, you should be able to make your own, but I get it. I understand they want
You make up a neighborhood that's close.
So you used to be able to make up a neighborhood, but you can't do anything on this. You just have to type it in and then choose the ones that are highlighted.
Okay.
Yeah, but when you do, it gives you all this information. So yeah. Which this person, oh no, we just made this guy up, never mind. So then I want to tell you who calls, in the middle, at the beginning of the team meeting, Rebecca says, call you the DT, D2. Yeah. Does anybody do that? Okay.
Well, now I got a question on that. I mean, this is our daily, we call or email or text, right?
Call.
It's all call. I have a time, I mean, most of my contacts back in the West Coast, so I can't call at.
That's fine.
9 in the morning.
Yeah, you're calling.
Unless I'm not a kid.
Yeah.
Don't call me again.
Yeah, no, your calls are 12 and 1 o'clock, which is perfect.
Okay.
But so with this, you want to tag. So you're gonna have to create a tag. There's no tag for those.
Created a local tag, so that way all my locals, I can call them at 9 to 11.
That's good. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Let's see here. Tags right here. So this is part of the contact. Now, you're gonna have tons of tags in there. Some of the tags are already made for you. Some tags you might have already made. But what you want to do is look at their last name. So this guy's last name starts with a B. So you're gonna click B, -DTD2.
Oh.
Now I already made one, so it's gonna be there. If you didn't make one, it'll say add. You click add, and then pick a color because it likes to be color coordinated. And then you click. So
I thought we do it a little bit different. I thought we did the two letters. B and, so it's kind of doing the same thing, right?
Yeah, so this is telling you how to do that. So you're gonna go in, you're gonna mark them as their well, so it's last name. So you're gonna call people whose last names start with A and people whose last names start with Z.
Right.
And then the next week, you're gonna call it B and whatever letter it is.
So for that person, whatever their last or first name, whatever, last
So
name,
that's,
it would be DTD2.
Don't even worry about those letters.
Okay.
Just worry about the one letter, which is their last name, the first letter, last name. Like, so we're like, I don't remember what this week's was.
well, let's just say whatever it is. Let's just stick with what you said, A and Z, right? When I created that, if I just go right in and I have a last note, say Ashley, Lindsay, and I go right in, I'm putting Ashley in, when I go there and put that A, it automatically combines those two. And so it does that for me that week, instead of doing just one initial and then DTD2, you know what I mean? I don't know.
So this is why I do this.
Okay.
What was that?
No, I was looking at your five people.
Oh, I just created it.
They know how to B, E, E.
Oh, I created the tag.
So what you
So that's what I was asking. You're creating these tags. You do it for everybody for the DT.
Yep, so I'm gonna create a tag for everybody, based on the first initial of their last name.
Okay.
That way, say I need to call the bees. I'm gonna go into here, I'm gonna go to filters. I'm gonna go to tags. I'm gonna look up my tag that I made.
Oh.
Apply,
That's easy.
and then these are all the people who I'm gonna call today.
So I could go into tags and add new ones. right?
Yep, you can add new tags, yep.
Where do you go to add new ones?
Once you type it in, it'll say add,
Oh.
you have to type first. Yep. So that's where this will go.
And the number you create DT, that's the
It's-
DT.
Yeah, DTD2. You don't need that. I'm just using that as an example, but you can just type in the letter.
And the B
So,
is.
under tags, you can just put in the A or B or C or
Yeah,
whatever.
I go by last name, the first letter of the last name. I don't know, I shouldn't have chose Bob Builder. Two same letters,
So
but
if you see a B, if you're going through your thing and you see like a B, or you see it on that day, you see an A.
Yeah.
Or whatever, that tells you, oh, you gotta call.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, you can set it up in tasks, couldn't you as well?
you can. Yep, you can set that up in tasks. It's gonna be, you're gonna have to task like every single person. So it just
You
makes
can
it
do a group.
I think you can, it just takes a lot more stuff for you than just looking up bees. Yeah, but let me know if you want that, I'll show you.
Yeah, I, okay, we'll talk about that.
So that part right there, literally that part, we didn't get through the first time. So I wanted to get through that part. Now I want to use the rest of this class, because I don't want to go into anything more, to answer questions that y'all have. I know Aaron wanted to talk about smart plans. So is there anything specific to a smart plan that you want to know about?
Okay.
Well, that was the specific one, but I'm just interpreting it that I need to send out a text message for all the holidays and just use it as a guideline, so it's not doing what I want.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's fine, I just didn't know that.
So also, when you go into command, you can't see it on the screen, but there's a question mark. Okay, click that question mark. And this goes for everybody. Click that question mark. Post an idea. So the annoyance that you have right now with it, post that in there. The more people post, and tell all the agents too, the more people post that same idea, the more that KW is gonna change it. It happens. All the changes that command changes are based on what agents post in there and reshare and repost. So feel free, if you ever have an idea, post them in there.
Okay.
There's no dumb idea. Yeah.
Another question, when we were just in Cherie's class, she had mentioned a vendor list and I was texting with her. She said that we should be able to access a vendor list in our command. She said hers is under command MC then administration, but I don't see any of that. Can you help us find that vendor list?
I can. So you can't find that. Command MC is for leadership, but what you can do and what we have is a vendor list. We just got printed out.
You email it though? So we have.
When I get it, yeah,
weekly?
yeah, I can do that. And then right now we have a few on that wall. We need to update it. But yeah, I'll write down, email the vendor list out.
Then maybe for the new people, we ought to give them the DTD, whatever list, like. It's B and E, and then it's C and K, and then it's H and B. So those are the tags that I initially made,
Okay.
you know, because those are the two initials, so those are the two, if you're doing that database, those are the two that you wanna.
Yeah, and you can combine it, yes.
Yeah, I think that would be.
Yeah.
They could use that.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have to necessarily go by the?
So just make sure you touch all your customers by in
Yeah.
a year's time.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the biggest thing, yeah, touch them up quarterly. The biggest thing is this is your business, you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
But do this and you'll be successful. Don't do this, you're gonna be successful no matter what, as long as you put your effort into it, it's gonna take longer. You have anything back there? Anything that you wanna touch upon that if you were to leave this class, you'd be like, okay, cool, I got that question answered.
No, you it's me out with a lot of something too. I've not done it. But I call monthly, but I don't have as many. She's got 1,200. I've got 240. So it's easy.
You have
1,200.
We had 140.
How many?
I took 40. I
Maybe it's on my
archived like 8.
Oh, okay.
I think you might
I
archive
got
this.
8.
Cut that down by
So if
40,
you have in
add
your
some
contact,
We got
when I first did it, I put them all under Sphere.
In my database?
So I need to take that out and then put
Maybe
a-
Facebook friends.
Keep them in there.
Keep them
Keep
there.
your contacts.
And then
1,250.
you said that
So I
number
got
ET doesn't
2 point
represent anything.
something
Can
K
I do
followers.
this, like, if it's alphabet A, I go A, AT01, and the next A is AT02?
Yeah, and you,
Substance.
I can create that
Substance.
you can
myself.
create that, and I would even do A and Z, and then B and X.
Oh, you mean
and C
first
and
name
Y.
and last name
Just
initial?
voted by the.
No, so
What do you mean by
first,
A?
I
so
don't do that.
first
B,
initial,
I just put the A
and
and
then
the
first
B or
initial,
B and the
Z,
Z.
called those two groups of people.
Oh,
And then first
Uh,
initial E,
that's how I do it, yeah.
all those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stored it, but if you can write it in there with the letters, you just find a system that works for you. And a lot of times I just weekly put in my calendar on Mondays, okay, today's A and Z.
Right.
Next week is B and Y. And
Right.
you can make it as simple, you can just organize by the last name.
Cause you might have a
You want
lot of
to finish
A's.
taking it just as for organization, but if you want simplicity,
Yeah.
just follow by the
So
last name.
simplicity.
That's.
Yeah.
So. Starting, say you start, we're starting, June's coming up, which is insane, June, almost there. Hey, you know what that means though? 2 months till my birthday, just saying people, August 30th.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I turned the big 3-1.
Oh my
That's
God.
a kid.
Yeah.
The dirty 30.
Oh, yeah, 30-30. But if we were to start this, 72 touch, June 1st. What do you all need to do to be successful? And this is just an open question. It's not asking you what you need. It's like, what do you guys need from me, from other people, from yourselves to be successful? Like, how can we help you?
I get the remedial question. So 72, you kind of give it, is it I know it's 72 texts, but I mean, you went over your last class that said what the topics are for each
Yeah.
week. And then is that somewhere? Because I wrote it down.
Should be attached to the paperwork he gave us.
I can find that paperwork that I sent or that
Oh,
I
you sent it?
I think I probably sent it, but maybe not. But so that's a question too. So everybody has so it's 7 touches a month. So 7 touches a month. Call, text, and email is obviously 3.
The calls groups. Yeah. Look at this. I'll make sure you get a copy of it.
Alright, so I'll have to see what I sent and I'll send it to you all
If you
again.
send it, I got a look.
Alright, no worries. But okay, so call, text, email, that's 3. We need 4 more. What's the other 4 touches we're gonna do?
Actually touch him, physically touch. Mail him something.
Mail?
Handwritten letter.
Yeah.
I've already got my letterhead made up. I'm ready.
There you go. Okay, so handwriting, what else?
Video.
Video, okay, what are we videoing?
Just depends on what the customer is.
Okay.
A buyer or seller, or you could do just touch and base, hey, what's your needs?
Yeah. Where are we, what are we doing with the video? Are we sending it through a text on Facebook? What's the video like?
I would say through Facebook.
Facebook? Okay.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
So, you know, everybody on in your database right now, how many of them do you have friended on Facebook?
A good portion of them.
Not many, good portion. That's part of the touch. You wanna add all of them on Facebook if they're on there. Some people might not be. Add them on social media, cause you wanna be top of mind on social media too. That's why, yeah, you wanna you make the business page and post your business on there. Add them to that, that's cool too. But also post some business about yourself. When you get on the awards that we share, take a video, ask for it, send it to us, post that on there. You know, when Wayne's doing his market updates and making whatever he makes up, post that on Facebook so people see that. You want people to see and know that you're doing real estate. That's part of being on top of mind. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can do math. What's next to?
The seller buyer seminars or events.
Okay, events, yeah. Events and then sending mail. How often are you doing those two things?
Quarterly.
Okay, yep. 4 times. Mail you can do 4 times. You can do that more too if you want. It costs money though, so you don't overspend. So 3, 6. What's the last one? Where are we doing?
Networking.
Close. I mentioned earlier. It's not quite door knocking, but you're gonna pop by. You're pop by. So networking, but you know, some people might call it stalking. No, I'm kidding. Go to home. Yeah. And now more so those are gonna be people you know. So-
Neighborhoods like around your area.
Exactly, yeah.
Or a farm area, an area you're farming.
Yeah, if I lived in Lake Club, I'm letting everybody know I'm a real estate agent there. I'm going, maybe not home to home, but going to the little complex inside and being like, hey, you know, posting up, making phone calls, having people hear, oh yeah, you wanna sell your home, you wanna list your Lake Club, having people hear that. That's part of my touch too now.
Do you take any literature cards, anything with you, or are you just basically trying?
I take my cards,
Okay.
and then if you're allowed to, they don't mind it, take literature, but it really depends.
Yeah, that's. There's also so many restrictions with the HOAs.
Yeah.
And for me, I would like to be able to get out and have a business card.
Yeah, do you do something similar to that?
Yeah, I do my market information, I have my name and information on there, and if they're there, I always.
Right,
ask them.
yeah. But usually, are you doing those with the open houses or? Yeah, okay, yeah. Do you do anything, do you do door knocking or stuff outside of open houses?
No,
Okay.
I haven't yet, just cause I, when I.
So time consuming.
When I actually do the market though, I'm telling you, when you do. an open
Marketing,
house-
yeah. For
You know what blew me away, I haven't done it back when I first learned real estate was in Nevada. I was with this guy, he was a go-getter, he could sell homes. We were driving, he goes, here, let me show you, and we just pulled over and like, what are we doing? Got out, walked up to this house, knocked on the door, hey, would you like to sell your home? I was just sitting there, no way. And he wasn't trying to advertise the market, he wanted to know, if you wanna sell your home? Cause he knew so many buyers, and he knew he could sell his home to anyone he knew.
All right, sideways.
Yes.
I hold my paper sideways too, it's the craziest thing. So events, open houses, buyer seminars, holiday events, red day, not holiday, but red day, pie, give pie to people for Thanksgiving dinners, like that kind of thing, those kind of events that you can market to and market your database to. Social media. What are we gonna post on social media as a touch point? I'm awesome, use me.
Google review.
Oh, yes, you can post that. Yep, you can post Google review. I would suggest posting Google reviews when you get them everywhere. Yeah, that's a reflect now. If it's a 1-star review, throw that away. But 5 stars, shout that out of the rooftops. What else?
I think, well, like, usually Monday's market information.
Okay.
Monday's market information. And then, sometimes I see people do different spotlights on like different businesses,
Okay, yeah.
in the area.
So what I will tell you, and I just learned this for my social media and the market centers. If you highlight a business, look around for a mom and pop business, pizza shops, ice cream, whatever. You highlight them. Do not ask them. Don't tell them you're doing it. Just highlight them. They're gonna comment on. They're gonna be like, "Oh my god, thank you so much." Make sure you tag them in it.
I should have done that. I did the gelato shop in St. Albans.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did a little video of going inside, showing all the ice cream,
Yeah.
because we love it.
that's sweet.
And I posted that, but I should have tagged them.
Yep, tag them and put that out there. You're getting them brand awareness
Yeah.
for asking nothing. And well, one, good karma, and two, it's gonna come back and you'll probably get business out of it. Might not happen right away,
Right,
but
right.
yeah. And you keep doing that. And that's also, you make a Instagram post, then make a filler. Could be something like that. Then another Instagram post and another filler post. I'm just learning all this. So you wanna do that and make it flow.
Yeah, because you're now out there. I'm swimming now with all this stuff.
Yeah. All right, any other questions that anybody has? Was this helpful at all?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so then the next one. Now that we all have the basic, with all y'all in here. We're not the problem. Of the last class, so I appreciate it. But yeah, so next class, we're gonna go into a little bit deeper dive in this. We are gonna go into a smart plan. Then the class after, I'll give you a preview of the class after. You can set people up on smart plans as you tag them. You can also set a smart plan up to happen if you put a specific tag. So say you added somebody and then you tag them hot buyer. That can trigger a hot buyer smart plan to start. So we'll show you that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part's the cool stuff. Yeah. Alright, if anybody needs anything.
When's the next class?
I don't have the date on me,
Okay.
but it's the end of next month. It's gonna be on Thursday. Yeah, I think the last Thursday of the month. Yeah.
You know what I started to find out?
Yeah.
Mentality level. I was talking to a few, I went to a friend's house. One of those Asian parties.
Okay.
Which I don't go very.
What was that like?
Well, everybody calls me the.
Like they had beaches.
I don't have any Chinese.
I
For some reason,
reason, talk about that.
yeah, I don't, it's not I don't associate with them, but it's hard to talk to, especially men. Because when they sit down, they all talk about how much
Yeah,
money
this
they
is-
make, what they
yeah.
make.
Oh.
That's my problem.
that's a neat-
This slows that,
Yeah.
right? So usually I'm the most quiet.
Thanks for coming.
I'm actually gonna be a
Most quiet person around the table, so I'm listening, oh, he's making $1 million here. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But I start talking to them, you know, some of the guys that I'm, you know, what are you doing? I said, well, I retired, but now instead of staying home, I went out to do real estate.
Yeah.
For fun. One is learning the whole process. Second, at the same time, is to provide service.
Yeah.
And
I think big things giving back.
I said, now, I also enjoy showing people home. That's what I love. They all look at me like, do you have to pay anything? I said, no. I say, if I close the deal, the buyer and the seller pay me.
Yeah.
So just for fun, right? It's not a 9 to 5 job either.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, so a couple of them said, you know, we're interested to sell. I said, great. I said, two things, because I know Asian. I said, two things, I'm not gonna bother you every day with what's good, what's good, what's good. And I'm not gonna bother you with tell you what's bad, what's bad. I said, what I'm gonna do is make an appointment with you. Let's sit down, maybe at a golf game or just at a lunch. Let's talk.
Yeah.
I just want to know who you are, because I have no idea who you are. They're all my wife's friends.
Okay.
Their wives. are
Yeah, yeah,
wives.
yeah. Yep, I
So
get it.
I never see you guys.
Yeah.
Because they spent 4 or 5 months in China, 7 months here. That's what
yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay. And then, you know, one guy said, is the market hot now? I said, no. I said, is the market crashing? I said, no. I said, the only thing is, I was told, and I didn't believe it until I started looking at data and start learning. If you price it right, you'll get it done.
Mhm.
As if you wanna say, I buy this pen for $10, I wanna sell it for 50, you're not gonna sell it.
Yeah.
Cause you gotta take this value and really examine how much you can add on to this value. I say you put 10%, okay, you buy a house, 100,000, now you wanna sell it for 140. That could be, but you have to look around surrounding what they're selling,
Yeah.
what they bought. I said, that's, so I cannot tell you if the market is hot or market is cold. I said, the only thing I can tell you is if you market right, so it'll be good.
Yeah.
Then I talked to like my landscaper and then he's like, oh, I know the market is not good. And I said, well, I can't say it's not good, but so he's like, oh, I'm still trying to get him to sign, but he says, oh, my friends, the house that I'm renting is gonna help me to buy